welcome to another episode of the Red Arrow Health and Wellness Podcast. I'm your host, Marco, with my lovely co-host,
Jessica.
How's it going, Jessica?
It's fantastic.
You exhausted yet?
I actually am really tired. It's been a roller coaster of a day. So
Roller coaster of a day, roller coaster of a week, roller coaster of 2 weeks, because it's been 2 weeks since we put out an episode.
It has been 2 weeks. I'm not froggy anymore.
Yes.
And we're all happy about that.
That was a factor into it. There were multiple factors. We'll get into that in a little bit. But first off, as always, what are you drinking?
I am drinking an old-fashioned.
Are you now?
I am.
What kind of old-fashioned?
A Woodford old-fashioned.
No, you're not.
Yes. No, I'm not.
You're so full of crap.
I am full of crap. I have Woodford on the mind, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Some sort of
Clyde and May. You have.
I got the Clyde part right.
We've spoken about this before. It's Alabama style whiskey.
Yeah, we drank it during our whiskey episode.
That isn't it. It's like made in Indiana and aged in Florida, or is it made in Florida and aged in Indiana, or I don't know.
I'm just gonna start calling it Bonnie and Clyde whiskey.
It does look like Bonnie and Clyde whiskey,
and also Clyde is in there. So
there you go.
Just, I mean, it lends itself.
Whatever. It's a whiskey old fashioned.
It's good. Yeah.
And you like yours with orange bitters.
I do.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep. What do you got over there?
I have the same thing you do, only I use different bitters, but yeah.
What kind of bitters did you use?
I just use simple aromatic bitters.
Oh, good for you.
Yay. I know.
Yay. Hooray.
Hooray. This is on top of, it's been quite a day. So like with the dinner that we had tonight, we actually used my low carb handmade margarita mix.
We did that earlier, and it was magnificent.
I mean, and I have been like teasing this one for a while, so it's real simple. It is 1.5 ounces of freshly squeezed lemon juice, 1.5 ounces of freshly squeezed lime juice. It is a 1/4 teaspoon of orange extract. It is 2 ounces of the sugar-free simple syrup. We use Torani.
Yeah.
But whatever you got out there, we just happen to have that. And then it is, depending on how strong you want it, between 3 to 6 ounces of tequila.
How many ounces did you put in mine today?
5.
Oh, that explains so much.
And you had the Kirkland brand of tequila left over from our Taking Flight 3 Marriage Edition. I had the Hornitos, so I had a little bit more of a peppery kick to mine.
Yeah, I did love the peppery
like
kick,
black pepper kick, not like jalapeno kick.
Yeah.
And we had that with dinner, and while we caught up on Top Chef, which is our guilty pleasure, which I think we've spoken about that in other episodes too, about it seems like every time our kids are born, we're watching Top Chef.
We're not having a baby right now.
No,
I would like for that to be very clear.
Yeah, we're not getting into that. But it is a new, they're on season 18 of Top Chef. We don't have 18 kids.
Thank goodness for that. That would be weird.
Certainly don't have 18 kids, but like when kid 1 was born, you're in labor and delivery. We had 2 dedicated nurses, and I was there. And
That's good.
The 3 of us, actually the 4 of us are discussing food and Top Chef, and we're watching Top Chef. But the 3 of us were like, yeah, like let's get some food. And you're like, you all suck because I can't have anything.
There were multiple F-bombs dropped.
There were. It was hilarious. They were very cool. But yeah. Every time we have kids, we're Top Chef is on, and we're usually watching Top Chef. So season 18 has kicked off. We were watching that. We finished our margaritas.
Now here we are.
Kid 4 was sitting on top of us and crawling all over us. Kid 2 came down, was playing on his phone, hung out by us, watched a little bit of it. Now they're in bed, and here we are podcasting because that's what we do. Speaking
of our kids and coming down during Top Chef.
Oh, Lord.
Kid number 1 came down, and she had something.
Cue the ongoing parent meme / joke of "This is why I drink."
She had something super interesting to tell us.
Yeah, why don't you get into that?
Yeah, so she came down and she said, "Mommy, kid number 3 said."
Before he said it, what did he do?
Said she was in his bed, laying there playing on the Nintendo Switch, and he came in and pointed a Nerf gun at her.
There's been Nerf gun battles running throughout this house all day. It's the first full day of spring break.
Lord help us.
All right. Yeah. You at least get to go to work. I got to stay here and work.
He pointed a Nerf gun at her, and he said, get out of my bed, bitch. And I could have died. Because I don't know where he heard that word from. Because there are some words we don't say in our house, and that's one of them.
That is true. This is what she's reporting. He wouldn't fess up to what he was saying. Kid 2 was in the room. Doesn't remember any of this because he tuned them all out because he's actually very good at YouTube. He was watching YouTube. And kid 4 was in the room, but she doesn't recall any of this either, other than there was a Nerf gun battle going on.
Yes. So, but kid number 1 is not typically a liar.
True.
And kid number 3 did that thing that he does when he's in trouble and he knows it and doesn't want to fess up.
What did you say?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't remember. Were you present? I don't know. I don't remember. Like, wait a minute. Were you having an out-of-body experience? I don't know. I don't remember.
Right.
It's like, okay, well, then we know you're guilty.
So he is in a lot of trouble. And he has had his phone and his... all of the video games have been taken away. So is the phone. He is not allowed to watch his siblings' phones.
Oh,
and he is in a world of hurt tomorrow when we are better able to deal with this.
He also got the patented dad version of To Be Continued. Yeah. There will be more consequences tomorrow. We did the immediate lay down some consequences, and I'm all so tired. So it's just like you'll get more tomorrow.
Yes,
we're watching Top Chef.
Yeah,
it sounds awful,
but it
really was like we've laid on enough for tonight where it was immediate, but also letting them know sleep with the uncertainty of what else are they going to come up with, because we were also tired and we were not feeling original.
Right, but.
We'll think.
Like, what the hell?
Well, he gets the immediate kick, and then also knowing, we're not done yet, but
no,
we need to we need to go podcast and put kids to bed.
What in his little tiny kid number 3 brain made him think that saying and doing this was the best way to handle this situation? I would really like an answer to that. I'm hoping he gives me one tomorrow. Other than I don't know. I swear a lot, obviously, but. That word is not one that we use in this house. It's not. It's just not.
I picked it up somewhere else.
Yep.
And then
he decided to test it out on his sister.
The pseudo murder mystery pursues are like, where did he get it? Let's start the forensics.
Forensics says probably school.
Linguistic forensics? Forensic linguistics.
There's
been some drinks tonight. It's been a long week. It's been a long 2 weeks. Yeah.
Anyways.
So yeah, we're not perfect parents. Yay! I think we've established that in the 55 previous episodes.
Perfect parents don't exist. If you think they exist, you're wrong.
You're wrong.
They don't. It's a very well crafted social media persona, and it's not to be believed because
for people who don't know how to pronounce it correctly, calling it facade.
Yeah. Underneath of all of that pretty perfectness is a hot mess. I guarantee
it's a show.
Parenting is a show.
I'm going to have to do so much editing on this one. But all right. It's all right. I have a lot anyway because the kids appear on this episode. This is a really weird episode. We've had it planned out for months. It was actually supposed to take place last week, and we were going to do it in segments and put all the segments together. Partly because it was going to be a busy weekend, which we'll get into that in a little bit. But it got put off because the weekend got busier than expected. Mm-hmm. And on top of that, you had no voice. And I didn't want to do it completely alone because part of the reason we do this is you and me together. Like I did episode 3 without you because you had no voice way back then, like over a year ago. And
no, it was a really bad migraine.
No, you had no voice too.
Fine.
Yeah. So I went back and look at it because I've been like... By the time this posts, we will be past the 1 year mark of putting out podcasts.
Wow.
But we recorded a few episodes and then we put out we just basically did a podcast dump where we put a whole bunch out all at once. Because it was very nerve-wracking. And we were nervous about it because we're putting ourselves out there. This is us. We're not filtering this.
Bitches and all.
We do a few edits for when we bump into the mics or we drop something on the floor or we're rattling papers, but this is us. So we have friends who like to listen, and it's like having a conversation with you guys, only you don't talk back.
Yeah.
Except for then they start texting us like, oh, like they're responding to things we're saying on the podcast. It's like, we recorded
I love it. I think
we
it's so
recorded that
funny.
a month ago. So I have no
funny.
idea what the context you're talking about.
So funny and so sweet, and I can't
It
get
is.
enough
I
of it.
love that they do that, but at the same time, it's like, what the hell are you talking about? What were we talking about a month ago when we recorded it?
Yeah.
So
We have drinks during these things. It's hard.
there was that
Things
too.
are fuzzy sometimes.
Sometimes, especially like when we do the flights.
Yeah.
Oh my god! So this episode, you had a very busy week at work.
I did have a busy week.
I
at
was
work,
coming
and
off a busy week, so
I would actually like to talk about.
we're gonna get to that.
Okay.
So I'm laying out before we get into all that. The way this episode is going to work, you and I have this segment here,
Okay.
and then I'm going to, when we get to the main feature, the main topic, we're going to chat.
Okay.
And then I've got some segments I've already recorded with the kids. I did one with kid 3. I have a separate one when I had kids 1 and 4, the girls, down here. And then I had a segment where I sat and spoke with kid number 2. And then we're going to wrap that up, and you and I are going to chat. We're going to give a shout out to the past 2 weeks worth of Red Arrow Challenge champions. And
Cool.
kid 3 and kid 2 helped me do those.
Aw.
So we've got them for because we missed a week of podcasting.
Yeah.
Well, they still were doing their work, so we're going to give them a shout out. And then you and I are going to finish up this episode. So that's how this whole Franken episode is going to work.
Franken episode. I like it.
There's going to be some post-production editing going on here, but
Where
that's
the
how it's
magic
going to be.
happens.
Yeah, it's going to happen. But things have been busy. So where would you like to start on how we got here and what's been going on and all that jazz?
I just wanted to talk about work.
We'll talk about work.
Okay. So I almost never talk about work, but I have a couple things to say
First off,
about things that happened this
it's
past week.
World Autism Awareness Day. It's Autism
is.
Awareness Month.
Yes.
On top of that, I believe it's Autism Awareness Week. It's all the
it's
autism awareness.
all autism all the time, all month long in April. Light it up blue. It's all good. Maybe red too. I'm not quite
I
sure
have my blue
what
Chucks on today.
what the difference is between the two. But
You should have worn your blue Chuck Taylors to work.
That would have been magnificent.
Yes, I would
And
have.
then they could have taken a picture of my shoes, and then I could have been on the Facebook page for it. That's okay. Maybe on Monday I'll wear them.
It's Autism Awareness
also
Month.
don't
you have
love
all
them.
You have all month to wear them.
I do.
You also have teal or light blue Chuck Taylors, and you have royal blue Chuck Taylors.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
So one of us has a Chuck Taylor obsession, and it's not me.
yeah, I know. Well, one your pair of royal blue ones are because I ordered a pair and they were not as advertised. They were not the men's size that I wear. It was the women's size I wear, which happens to be your size.
Okay. Thank
Anyway.
you. I have big feet. The end.
Anyway,
Right. So it is World Autism Day or National World. Okay.
Sorry, I got to ask you.
It is World Autism Day, and we celebrated today at work by showing a lot of love to our staff, because everything that we do with our clients, we cannot do without our lovely RBTs who show up every single day and give their all day long with those sweet little kiddos of ours. So we decorated the staff room for them, and we hung stuff from the ceiling, and we made it really pretty in there. We fluffed tissue paper balls and we stuck it all over the shelves, and it was wonderful. And we also made little goodie bags for all of them.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was really sweet. And then we made
What kind of stuff did you put in the goodie bags?
we put autism swag in there. So there were lanyards in there, and there were buttons, and all of the buttons were different. So each one had a different saying on them, and different colors and patterns and things like that. Puzzle pieces galore. There were also like rubber duckies with the puzzle pieces on them, and they are super cute. And there were keychains and tattoos and stickers and pencils and all kinds of just silly but very very liked and very much appreciated stuff. We also bought bagels and coffee for our staff, and they like that. They like food.
What?
They like coffee. Excuse me.
Bagels.
I didn't say bagels. I said bagels.
You did say bagels, but it sounded very, very
didn't.
similar to bagels.
Nope, it didn't. Bagels. Anyways, we did that for them. But unbeknownst to my counterpart and I, they had something up their sleeve for us. Oh, wait. No. First, I need to tell you that part of the decorations for the staff room, my assistant had the job of making decorations, and what she decided to do was take each one of our clients like first day of school pictures, and then also a picture taken in the past week. And underneath of the first day of school, she wrote a little blurb about each kid that said, when I first started at this center, I could not all of these skills. And then with their current picture, she wrote, after my time at this place, I can now do blah, blah, blah. And they were so cute because we have all these squishy little baby pictures, and these kids are so much bigger now. And it's so wonderful both to see how physically they've grown, and also to see how their like personalities have started to shine through in their pictures, but also to read all of their accomplishments.
Their skill acquisition and everything. Because,
yeah.
I mean, these therapists are in the trenches, so to speak.
Yeah.
They're nose to the grindstone. They're up close to it. And you, at least in your role, get to take a step back and look at the big picture, the trends of the data and everything. They don't really see that. They're just recording data every day while they're working, basically hand in hand with these clients.
Yep.
So this is a great opportunity for them to take a step back and like, you did this.
Yeah.
Your efforts made a difference.
Yep.
I think that's just incredibly wonderful and awesome that your senior assistant came up with this.
Yeah, it was wonderful. So that greeted them when they came in to work this morning, and everybody cried. Yeah, I'm not exaggerating. Like everybody cried. And
it was a big old cry fest.
Yeah, it was. And it was really, really sweet. So we did that for our staff, but unbeknownst to us, our staff had something in store for us as well. And they had put together little goodie baskets.
Stop crying.
I can't. It was really sweet. I can't help it.
Oh my God.
So
anyways, it's an audio only podcast, so you don't know that Jessica is just teared up. Her eyes are bright red and she is crying.
Yeah, it's not good for mascara. It's bad, guys.
Well, whatever. I'm not taking any more photos. We already did the photo at the beginning of the episode.
Oh, wow, that's a lot of makeup. Oh my God.
Anyway.
So anyways, they put together a little basket of things for us that they thought each one of us would like and appreciate. And mine was absolutely perfect. It had a candle in it that smells delightful. It also had a lot of wall decorations because my side of the office is pretty bare because I'm new there and I haven't had a chance to like decorate as much as my counterpart. Her wall is completely filled with all these cute little things.
Because you're a professional photographer. You have access to a professional lab.
I know. I just haven't had a chance to sit down and do it yet because I am at work all the time.
And you have a family who are your guinea pigs when you want to play with different photo things.
But anyways, my staff hooked me up and I have cute little wall decorations now. Also, there's a bottle of wine in my basket. And
wait. And it's the type of wine you like.
It is. It's a sweet red, and I could not be more happy.
I don't think you've had this variety of sweet red before, which is awesome. You'll love trying it. But you like sweet reds.
I do. Yep.
After years of only liking sweet whites.
The dry reds give me a headache, but the sweet ones are good.
But the fact that they know what type of wine.
Yeah. And then there were some other things in the basket, and then tucked behind it there is a little bottle of Woodford. And I was
little bottle.
No, it's actually a big bottle.
Fifth.
No, but I saw it. I was
like, whiskey.
What is happening right now? How do they know?
How do they know
Apparently, I talk about this at work.
Your go-to variety of whiskey too.
Yeah, no, but
that's like getting your dad a bottle of Jack Daniels.
It's true. I could not be more happy with the Woodford and everything else that was in the basket. But the part that made me really, really happy, and I actually had to stop looking through the basket, is the card. They put a card in the basket, and everybody signed it, and they all wrote a blurb.
So they didn't just sign it. They really did.
I opened it and I looked and I was like, nope. All done with this now. I'm going to read this later.
When I have the Woodford.
Because it would not have been appropriate to start crying like that at work. So it was very sweet.
I mean, everybody else was crying. You might as well have at it.
They had stopped crying by the time this happened, though. They had pulled it together and they're like, these are for you guys. And we were like, what? Because we didn't know they were doing this at all.
I take it your counterpart didn't have a bottle of Woodford in hers.
She didn't have Woodford in hers, but she had wine and she had a couple different types of beer in hers. So Yep.
They know her well, too.
They do know her well. They have us pegged. It's really cute. One of the things that they put in there was like a sticky notepad, and it had a little saying on there, and it says something along the lines of, everything is magical. And I was looking at it in our office, and my counterpart saw it, and she goes, oh, that could not be more perfect for you. And I was like, I know. And the reason for that is because sometimes we will be having a terrible day, and my therapist will say, I don't know what to do. And I will come up with...
Because everything is awesome is trademarked by Lego and Disney.
And I will come up with something, and it will be off the wall bonkers. And they will look at me like I have 14 heads, and I will look at them and say... do it, because it's going to be magical when you do it. And like, this is
when
something...
you do that, do your hands go up like jazz hand style, like up and apart, and a rainbow forms between them? There you go.
Sometimes. And it's just, it's a funny little inside thing from work. So I absolutely love that. It was a wonderful day today. It was such a nice surprise, and I'm very grateful to have the coworkers that I do have. It's nice.
Aw.
Yeah. Also, with regards to work.
Yes.
It came to my attention this week that there are people on the planet that have not seen, nor are they even remotely aware of the movie Animal House.
What the
Exactly. So at work, we got blinds. We finally got blinds up in our building. It is so nice because now we can block out the sun and keep things a little bit cooler inside. And it's great. Yeah. Do. Now there goes the sun. Anyways, we had put up temporary curtains in one of the rooms. And our Mr. Fix-It guy took the curtains down, put up the blinds, and then he was sort of walking around with the curtains over his front part of his body. And he walked into our office.
That's a weird way to describe what's going on here.
Yeah, anyways,
it creates a weird mental picture.
He walked into the office, and he's like, I'm going to do that thing. Toga, toga, toga. And he goes, from like that movie. And then he paused, and I thought that he was having trouble coming up with the name of the movie that's from. And of course, that line is from Animal House. And so I spun around in my chair because I always get excited when I can name movies on demand like this.
Which is often.
All the time. And I was like, it's Animal House.
That's why you're awesome at movie trivia.
I am. And he stopped and he looked at me like I had lobsters crawling out of my ears. Do you know what movie that's from?
No.
It's from A Christmas Story.
Oh, cool.
Anyways, he looked at me like I was nuts, and my counterpart also looked at me like I was nuts, and I was like, Animal House, where that toga line is from. And they just sat there and they blinked at me, and I was like, what is that? What do you not know what Animal House is? And they were like, no, we don't. What is it? Who's in it? And I was shocked.
Everybody's in it.
They didn't know, and I was like, John Belushi's in it.
Kevin Bacon's in it.
How do you not know?
Donald Sutherland's in it.
And then I looked at my counterpart, and she's like, I don't really like movies, so I don't know most of them. And I was like, okay, I guess
even
that's
Twister's
okay.
sister did a play on that for their main video for their basically one-hit wonder.
But then I looked at Mr. Fix-It
I know they
guy.
got other songs, so Twisted Sister fans don't get pissed at us. But their big hit, their video, they do a play on Animal House. They even got the actor from Animal House to do the part.
But then I looked at Mr. Fix-It guy, and I was like, you're a dude. How do you not know this movie? It's like a quintessential guy movie.
Did you do it with the Christina Aguilera voice?
I didn't.
Where she's doing Sex in the City and she's Samantha and she's like, I'm a dude.
No, that would have been awesome, but no. And he was like, I don't know. I just have never heard of this. And I was like, how old are you? And he goes, I just turned 31. And I was like, oh, frick. Oh my God, this is gross. And then the two of them came up with the movie that the toga line was apparently from. And would you like to know what movie they think it's from? Accepted with Justin Long.
Which is an homage to Animal House.
Exactly. And I was like, oh God, we have so much work to do. So then this deeply bothered me to the point where I walked around the building and checked on all of my clients and all of my counterparts' clients. And
so you didn't kill the workers?
I saw that if they needed anything. And then I said, oh, by the way, while I'm here, I'm doing an informal impromptu poll, and I need to know if you've seen the movie Animal House. And they were like, what? And I swear to God, like 50% of the building had no idea what this movie was.
Was there a correlation to their age?
Oh, it's for sure an age thing. To the point, though, where they were like, wait, where they,
questions.
multiple of them asked me if it was a Disney cartoon movie. And I was like, what the f***? No, it is highly inappropriate for children. Do not watch it around your kids.
They thought
but also, you need to watch it.
Animated Disney cartoon with animals?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Question for you. Your counterpart, the other behavior analyst in the building, how old is she?
She's 30.
God damn it.
Yep.
Had she seen it?
Oh, no, she has no idea what it is.
You have some older RBTs,
yes.
registered behavior therapists.
This is where it gets wonky.
Okay. Of the ones that are over 35,
okay,
how many had seen it?
Okay, there's only a handful of those.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm narrowing it down. How many out
like
of the ones?
Two.
2 out of the 5 that are over 35?
There are only like 2 that are over 35.
And out of those 2, had they seen it?
1. God. The other one, who is like 4 months younger than me, I asked her,
are any over 40, or you're just the oldest person in the building?
There's one that's over 40, and she has seen it.
Okay.
And then the other one is a couple months younger than me.
And she hasn't?
And she was like, no, I don't know what that is. And I was like, dude, you are my age. You are supposed to know these things. And she goes, I don't know what you're talking about.
Dude,
we didn't have a TV growing up. And I was like,
we're doing a hockey episode tonight.
I should have had you go. Okay.
I should have had you go poll the building on who's seen Slapshot.
But speaking about hockey, so enough about work. Like, this is the end of my work stories. It's that everybody that I work with is too young to know about the movie Animal House.
Oh my God, the damn kids need to get off our lawn, and what else? Damn kids.
They need to watch Animal House.
That too.
That's just it.
Damn kids.
Be aware of like older movies that are freaking hilarious that all the other movies borrow from.
So clearly we're crotchety old people who have seen Animal House.
Yes.
There we go.
So
moving on. What else is your next story?
No, that's the end of my.
Oh, you had something else.
We went out with your hockey friends the other night.
We did.
That was last night.
It was. We met up at one of the breweries where I actually have a mug at.
Yeah. And you guys were all talking about hockey, and it got super boring for me. So I turned to the guy sitting next to me, and I was like, I have a question for you. And he was like, okay.
Wait. You were flanked by two of the the 2 youngest captains we have in the league. They're both the only captains who were in. No, actually, I got a new one that's in his 20s in AB. But anyway, for the Sunday night leagues, the 2 youngest that we have there, one is like 26 and one's like 28 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're delightful. Everybody there is delightful.
Yes.
Lots of fun. Lots of giggles last night. But I turned to the one on my right because he was being quiet and the other one was in a conversation about wildly inappropriate things. And I was like, I have a question for you. And he was like, okay, what is it? And I was like, have you seen the movie Animal House? And he was like, no. Should I see it? Is it new? What is it?
Is it a cartoon? Is it made by Disney?
He stopped short of asking me if it was a Disney movie. But he hadn't seen it. He's never even heard of it. And I was like, what the is happening right now? Because I don't understand how I live in a world where most people apparently have not heard of this movie.
This is a good time to put in, when I'm bleeping you, it's because you're swearing like a sailor. When I'm bleeping the kids later in this episode, it's because they're saying other children's names, including our children, which we don't want to share.
So I did ask him, I was like, oh, how old are you? And he goes, I'm 26. And I was like, okay, I guess it's okay. You don't know the answer to this, but this is not okay. You need to watch it immediately. And you overheard that I was asking him this, and you were like, open it up to the entire table. And so I turned to my left, where everybody else was, and I asked them, and they had all seen it, and that made me feel much better, especially because the guy on my left was also quite young. So
yeah, but he went to Michigan Tech, so he's okay.
That's true. I'm sure that's...
And the guy next to him, is a little bit younger than me, but he's about our age.
Yeah.
Yeah, he falls... His birthday falls between yours and mine.
Okay.
So he's
like
the
your
same
brother.
age. Yes. But his wife hadn't seen it.
Yeah, but she said that...
She also hasn't seen Labyrinth.
Yeah, she said she's not a movie person.
She also said earlier, before COVID and quarantine and everything, that she hadn't seen Slapshot, to which the entire hockey league was appalled and aghast. And it's like, what do you mean you haven't seen Slapshot? That's
she needs to watch that immediately.
I don't know if she did watch it during quarantine or not. If not, she needs to watch it. She needs to put her kids to bed first before she watches it.
Absolutely, it's bad.
Well, or maybe she needs to let those two
No,
sweet little
they do
girls
not
watch
need to
it.
watch that. We don't let our
Because-
kids watch it. She doesn't need to let her
Well, it
kids
would
watch
make
it.
learn to play hilarious when they start playing. Because I believe one, if not two of them, are in Learn to Skate right now.
Aw. You know what I need you to do on Sunday when you go to hockey?
Where I go to hockey and hockey and hockey. Because
Exactly.
I'm scheduled to play in
So-
4 games back to back to back to back.
Mr.
Is that 4?
Okay.
Whatever.
Mr. Hockey Rink owner has a wipe erase board by the entrance to the rink.
Yes.
Can you please put up informal poll? Have you seen?
No.
Please. And then just have people tally it on yes or no.
Yeah, fine. I'll put it up there.
Thank you. And then take a picture and send it to me at the end of
Yeah,
the night.
because I don't think he's showing up on Sunday. No.
No?
I don't think he's coming.
He's out of commission.
Anyway, he's got little kids. I don't think he's showing up.
Yeah. Okay. Even
But you know
more
what?
of a reason
His
then
his
you
little
can put it up.
Look, his little sister
Can't
better
stop
show up
you
because
to
she's
say.
on one of my teams and we're running low on players.
She doesn't not show up. She
She's-
likes hockey.
No. So we're playing on Easter Sunday because in all the other years when we've taken Easter off or we've taken one of the Sundays off during spring break, everyone has complained and whined about why are we taking this off? We need to keep playing, blah, blah, blah. If we, the few people who want to leave, we'll just get subs. So this year we're like, well, you know what? We're coming off of the COVID year. It's still, pandemic is still going on. Last spring we didn't have any games, but in the previous seasons, every time we took stuff off, people complained. And we're trying to shoehorn in this mini season for us, which is 9 weeks total, including playoffs, so that we can wrap up before Memorial Day.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll do it. The only way we can do it is if we play straight on through. So that's what we're doing. And people are like, great. And they sign up, and they knew what they were signing up for. And they go, great, have your game. I'm not coming. Mm-hmm. Holy crap, we got a lot of people out. And so we're trying to get subs for everything. And they're like, why don't we reschedule? When would you like to reschedule? As soon as we come off of spring break, youth hockey for spring resumes. Like, there's not ice time. We got to do this, and we're going to go. So I've got, and we'll get into this a little bit, but I've got 2 teams on Sunday nights in 2 leagues. Not to mention being commissioner for the whole hot mess of 4 leagues. But and 2 of those, I'm a captain and playing. And then last night we were talking about it. I'm like, I'm subbing in 3 games. I'm sitting next to a guy who's subbing in 4 games. And one of the other captains was at the table and who was one of the guys who hasn't seen Animal House. Mm-hmm. And he's like, you want to play in a 4th? I'm like, why? Are you shorthanded? He's like, I am. Why don't you just and it happened to be the one game I wasn't playing in. Like, why don't you just show up? I'm like,
So
fine.
you are going to live at the rink on Sunday is what you're telling me.
Yet again.
Is kid number 1 showing up for any of those games?
No, because
Whew.
all right, she
Don't
showed up
gotta drive.
last weekend. She showed up because she played in bad hockey, beginner adult development hockey, and she was the goalie. And then afterwards, you came and picked her up. Mm-hmm. But I had to be there to drop her off, and because she's a goalie and she's the world's slowest goalie when it comes to dressing, we had to be there a half hour early. Mm-hmm. So I dropped her off, which was fine because I had to hang up the rosters and the schedule and get everything situated and get jerseys handed out to my team. It was the first week of the adult league. I had my game. I played the early game, and then I just ran around and did commissioner stuff and checked on people. And part of that is we can't drink out in the rink area.
Sure.
So it's like, I'll just duck in from locker room to take a sip of whatever I'm drinking. And but schmoozing and having fun, and then so we had another senior league game, then we had a C-level game, and then I was in the late game because, and as I put out to my team, clearly the commissioner hates me when he made the schedule. The schedule is based on your
You're
draft
the
pick
commissioner.
I'm the commissioner. It's got placeholders, and wherever your draft pick number is, that's where
funny.
you get. Well, I ended up with the early game, which even though bad is it before that. And the late game, so I was there all the way to the end. Plus, things were running behind schedule, so it was a late night. Yay. Should we get into why there's so much stuff going on?
Yes, but first,
Okay.
you got your shot.
I did get my shot.
We didn't talk about it
We didn't talk about it.
because I was sick.
kicked my it kicked my butt. Actually, it was fine before, and like I felt a little weird. And I get this thing when I get shots, and some people could relate to this, and some people just think I'm weird. But about 15, 20 minutes after getting the shot, I almost can kind of feel something in my teeth. I can kind of almost taste something. And this is true for all vaccinations I get, whether it's TB or flu shot or tetanus or whatever. I just kind of feel something, taste something in my teeth. But I'm like, yeah, but I feel fine. And I went, and it was pretty good for the afternoon. But as the afternoon, especially as I was cooking dinner with the kids, I just started feeling like wiped out and lethargic, and ended up laying on the couch and just knocked me out. The next day I got up, felt fine, other than my arm was sore because, anytime you get a shot in the muscle, you feel weird. And so I had a soreness in my arm, but that was it. So I've got one shot down, got my second shot coming up in a few weeks. Not going to announce the dates just for privacy concerns. But
which one did you get, though?
I got Moderna, and I have no problem saying that. And you got Pfizer.
I did.
Yeah, and you've had both of yours.
Yep.
You're good to go.
I've been good for weeks.
I'm 50% there. So
I know. And then we can see people again.
I know. Still wearing masks.
Of course.
Yep.
But
But
6 feet apart. It's important.
All that fun stuff. So yeah, had the shot. Let me see. Since the last episode, we wrapped up youth hockey. We wrapped up adult hockey. I handed out the trophy, all that fun stuff. We did the tightest turn ever where we finished adult hockey on a Sunday. And then we're looking at the registrations. The registrations are running high. It's like, it's time we bring these leagues back into alignment. We originally started, we had a 40-plus league, which was really just enough players for 2 teams. Captain, we had one captain. He put up a list every Sunday, said, here's who's playing. Everybody else was in the AB league. And we had 6 teams for that. And we did that for a while. And then eventually we're like, let's welcome in some C players and almost 40 players, those ones that are like 38, 35. And we'll have 4 teams in the C league. Well, the C league, especially with those bent definitions, that C40 plus league took off, and it had 6 teams. And people were jumping out of the AB, especially out of that B ranks. And AB shrunk down to 4 eventually. Well, this time we're looking, hockey players are procrastinators. When I was down at Notre Dame, it was the same way. We're looking at numbers. They all sign up in the last minute. So we get to the Monday of draft week where we're expecting numbers to be low. And all of a sudden we're like, we got 65 skaters.
That's a lot of people.
For the C40 plus league. This thing's easily going to be over 80 players. And AB is looking thin. We really need to realign it back to where it should be and get some of these B players who are slumming it down in Sunday nights. Especially the ones in their 20s and their teens, get them where they're B players. They need to be up with the AB. So I put it out to the captains. The captains put in their 2 cents. The rink owner and I evaluated it, and then we notified those players. And, of course, some of them started giving kickback, and the rink owner came back to me on Friday night, or actually Friday during the day. It's like, well, I don't know. This might not be the time. It's like, look, they need to go. And some of them really needed to go because it's like they're not backing off. And you cannot be a teenager riding a 65-year-old hard into the boards.
It sounds dirty.
It does. It's like, keep your hands off the old men. But this is the case where it's like, could you not rough up the old dudes? And I'm like, give me 20 minutes. And so I ran the numbers, and we had more than enough over 40 players to have an over 40 league. We were a little light on C, and so we discussed it, and he's like, well, I don't know. And I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to make it happen. If it fails, this is going to be our shortest season ever, and whatever, it fails. But I'll make it work. So the key was finding enough captains, finding enough goalies, finding enough players for all the teams, and I had 23 hours from that discussion to the draft to basically create a whole nother league and find enough players to make it work. And we did.
Yay.
And on top of all this, your parents were in town. Your brother was on in. We had a big family dinner coming. It's like, this has got to work because I need to have a captain's meeting, rake all the players, come up with the rules, come up with how we're going to make this work, find all the key people and bodies, draft the team, send it out, deal with all the post-draft trades, and then boom, let's go. And by the way, from the draft, we had roughly about 24 hours from that point to the first game. Yeah. So it was a crazy weekend. We made it work, and I played 2, and then now we're coming up on week 2, and I'm going to be playing 4 games on Sunday, and of course we've got our AB League on Mondays, and this episode we're recording right now.
You're not playing in the AB League.
No,
right?
but I did go there on Monday night, especially for the first week, to do my commissioner duties, make sure everything went smoothly. And this episode will post on Monday. So by the time this posts, I will have played 4 games.
You'll be dead.
I will be exhausted and dead. And
it'll be spring break. And you'll be home.
Well, luckily, this will automatically post. So, because I will be hurting. No, I got other crap to do. Plus, I got all my kids home. So, while I'm trying to do it. Yay.
I'll be at work.
Yay.
Want to trade?
Yes. Yes.
They might like you more than me.
Maybe.
We can't trade. I like my job.
And all this, like, while I'm trying to do all this draft stuff and find everything, and oh my God, we got like guys who are whining like, the commissioner's just trying to push me out of the league and push me to Mondays. I'm like, really? Because that's why with 24 hours before the draft, I bent over backwards to create a new league to kind of keep you around. Like, go to hell. And oh, by the way, we didn't have enough jerseys, so I own 2 team sets of jerseys and contributed one of my personal team sets to a team that I'm not even playing on.
Yep.
To which I told the captain, don't lose any. Oh, by the way, spoiler alert, he already lost one that he had a sub who was one of the ladies in the league, wore it, left it in the locker room. One of the rink owners gave it back to me. He's like, this is yours, isn't it? I'm like, yeah. Totally called him out at the brewery last night.
I was going to say, did you look inside of the seats in the locker rooms?
No. She left it in there and they handed it to me. He wasn't aware that it was still missing, and he thought it was still sitting in the girls' locker room because he can't go in the girls' locker room.
Okay, I get it. Kid number 1 told me that there's a pair of high heels in the seats.
Really?
In the girls' locker room.
Really?
Yeah, she has shown them to me.
Did she try them on?
I'm sure she has, because they've been in there for like a year.
Are they her size?
Okay. They're like grown-up ones.
She wears, I just called my wife dude. She wears a 5.5 running shoe in women's. Who told her she could be big?
Not me.
No.
Anyways, she and the other girl hockey players, like little girl hockey players, think it is hilarious that there is this pair of like
they should get them bronzed and just leave them there
inside of the seat. And they're like, why are they here? They've come up with so many wild stories about it. I'm like, dude, somebody just freaking took off their shoes and stuck them in there.
A princess from a ball came to go play her hockey game and lost her shoes.
That's not what's happening here, but they are just
I
mystified.
like that story. We need to write a children's book about the princess from the ball who said, screw the dance, I'm going to go play hockey, and then forgot her shoes at the hockey game. That's not a
terrible idea.
That would be awesome.
We're
going to post this, and someone's going to steal it before we get it.
That's okay. In college, I wrote a children's story.
Did you?
I did, and you've read it, and you actually liked it, and it was called Southern Belle and Prince Fettuccine.
Yes.
It's about us.
Yes.
My teacher loved it. It was great.
That's when you're taking kids lit.
It was, and you were still at Michigan Tech, and so you were like guarded by the evil snowflakes.
That's even funnier now.
I had to save you with
This was still, was this in the 19s or the 2000s
No,
as a kid?
This was in the 2000s because I graduated right at the end of the 19s. So college was the 2000s. Anyways, I had to save you using my wits and my smarts and my hairdryer that I packed in my overnight bag.
If you wrote it today, you would have been one of those mouse-catools you have going there would be Woodford.
Yeah, for sure. I'd have to save you with Woodford from the evil snowflakes that were guarding you.
And anyone who has kids will get the reference there.
I wrote in the story that we met at a Mardi Gras ball. Uh-huh. Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's not too far off.
It's not. It's great.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic story. I have it in somewhere. I should revisit that. Maybe kid
along the way, though,
illustrate it for me.
with all the chaos of hockey and everything else, you had a buttload of insurance reports due. Those were a pain in the ass.
Insurance reports are
We
not
had
fun.
Taekwondo testing, which was a surprise to my mom since she runs all the books and the ordering. And my dad just basically said, while he was over dropping off goldfish for our kids to take care of while they're out of town. And basically,
okay, but we need to talk about this for a minute.
And then he's like, we're testing him. And he's like, don't listen to your grandmother. I promote people and do the testings. And our kids are like, what the hell? We don't know all our form yet.
That's exactly what they said. They were like, we don't know all the forms, but Grandpa said we're testing, so we're scared. And I was like, Well, if Grandpa said you're testing, then you're testing. You better know your stuff so you can pass.
It's not like the old days when I did it, where Grandpa like raked me over the coals when I was trying to go for black belt.
Yeah,
like
apparently that's not what's happening anymore.
where it was like, not only did we have to do all our forms and all our everything, each judge got to ask you a question when you tested for black.
Scary.
My own father, who didn't own the school at that point, decided to lead off because he was the junior most judge and decided to not only show that he wasn't a pushover because he was the new guy, asked his own son, give me the definition of every form and every belt you've ever had, which is like I'm looking there like, are you with me, Dad? You just gave me basically, let me ask you the entire book of questions that everybody else can ask. And at that point, all the other judges actually felt bad for me.
Good.
Yeah. Because I had the world's hardest, longest compound question ever proposed at that school.
Did you answer it?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay, then.
He's like, I only asked you because I knew you could do it. I'm like, I was 9. 9, Dad. Thanks for driving a bus over me back and forth.
Okay, anyways.
But I did it.
Yeah, you did it at the end.
And then our kids, it's like, oh, at least you tried.
No, but that's the thing. Like, I took them to Taekwondo. I dropped them off. I came home. I went to the bathroom. I came out of the bathroom, and kid number 1 popped out in front of me in the hallway, and I was like, what the is happening? I took you to Taekwondo. Why are you in the hallway? What is happening? How did you get here?
You didn't hear me scream when Grandpa called?
No.
Oh.
And she goes, kid number 2 got the poops. We had to come home. And I was like, what do you mean he got the poops? He had diarrhea all over the bed.
I am 90% sure it was stress-induced diarrhea.
I have no doubt because he was terrified of testing.
Because we didn't know when testing was, and they asked, when is testing going to be? And Grandma's like, oh, I think after spring break. And Grandpa's like, I think it's going to be tonight. And he was in like panic attack mode, and I'm pretty sure he just stressed him the hell out. And so he went, and like I got a call like 10 minutes after dropping off. He's like, he's been in the bathroom. You better come get him. He says his stomach hurts and he's got diarrhea. And so like I came down to pick him up, and they were all putting on their purple belts, and he sent all 3 home. And then as I'm still driving home, and we only live like 3 minutes away from the studio, if that, he's like, well, I just want to know that I just went in to clean the bathroom or check the bathroom, and I'm going to have to clean it. And he wasn't faking. I'm like, okay, 1, TMI. 2, I didn't suspect that he wasn't faking it. But, okay, whatever. I mean, I'm just thinking to myself, you stressed out the kid with autism. So, yeah, because surprise, you're going to test.
Anyways, somehow all 3 of them managed to pass their testing, and they're now purple belts.
Yeah.
I would like to know how kid number 2 managed to do that from the bathroom, but sure.
Whatever. I mean, my dad watches them every night, but it really got down to like they still have to learn half their blue belt form. Now they got a purple belt form, but purple is when they go from 2-month testings to 4 months. So he probably figures we can just factor it in.
Okay.
Whatever.
Well, it'll be fun. They're really excited to be purple belts. Kid number 4 managed to get herself a purple belt.
She's had a purple belt for a while. They ordered an extra one just for her because they asked, what's your favorite color? She said, pink. They're like, there's no pink. She's like, purple. They're like, oh, fine. They ordered her a purple belt.
You know, it's really cute. But she's excited because she's like, me and the guys all have purple belts now. We can wear them together. And I was like, yeah.
All right. Sure. So and wow, that's a big thing. It's been a busy 2 weeks. So that's why we didn't drop an episode as planned. But this episode is all about hockey and this break between hockey for the kids, not for me. This episode is about hockey is for everyone and how it really has something for everyone, whether you can skate or even if you can't skate.
Or if you can't stop.
This is a great sport, and we really wanted to celebrate it with this episode because, look, we've got an adult who, I grew up in this area where we didn't have like all these kids and all these people I play with, and even adults are like, well, I started skating at the local rink, which is enclosed on 3 sides, it's open on 3 sides and enclosed on 1 side and has a cover. Like, that didn't exist. It used to be a big depression. They flooded, and they didn't allow hockey sticks there. I have to go shovel. The local township would flood a volleyball court, and we'd shovel that. We'd play ice hockey. We played a lot of roller hockey. I didn't play indoors until I went up to Michigan Tech.
I used to walk uphill and downhill to get to the bus.
So, but I played that, and then when I left
shoes.
Michigan Tech, went to Western, and I got too fat to wear my pads. I didn't start playing again until Kid 1 started playing. But there's a place for people like me who just enjoy playing and enjoy the sport. There's room in the sport for our kids who are playing, and we've got girls. Mm-hmm. We've got vertically challenged boy for Kid 3. Oh. He's a little guy. He's hanging there. And we got a kid with special needs who's on the autism spectrum and is ADHD. Mm-hmm. And then this is also a sport that lends itself to somebody like you who can skate but doesn't stop well.
I don't.
You are out there for playing scorekeeper. You've done parent-kid games, but the best part and why I love going to games with you, especially like professional and college games, when you're screaming for blood, and when, nice, mild-mannered behavior analyst Jessica's there, beat him with a stick! Cut his head off! Slice him with your skate!
Yeah, it's true.
Blood! Fight!
I like
Rip his helmet off! Rip his head off!
I like it when people fight during hockey games. It makes it worth it for me.
So much fun. I remember like Michigan Tech, I lived in Wads. If you know, Michigan Tech's campus, Wadsworth Hall, is the largest non-military dormitory in North America. Huge place, quarter-mile long. We'd walk up the hill. We'd go to the STC, the Student Development Complex, where they had the John McInnes Student Ice Arena. And we watched games. And like you'd walk up with your to-go cup, a very southern thing we used to do. And then as you're walking in, you can't take alcohol in. So everyone would just go shove it in a snowbank because there's tons of snow, which you would then grab it on your way back out.
We put that Rumple Mints.
Oh, my God. Rumple Mints. Yeah, it was Rumple Mints. What was it? Rumple Mints?
Chocolate milk.
And vodka.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was super spiked. Put it in the ice bank, or went in and watched the game. You were screaming for blood the whole time, and then on the way out, we grabbed it and walked down the hill. Of course, on the way down between the ice rink and the dorm, we have to go past the town cemetery, which has like the biggest monument in the damn cemetery. Is my
Burger King?
Is not Burger King. It's my family.
No, Burger King hat crown.
What about Burger King crown
on the monument?
Oh, there was a Burger King crown on the family monument.
Yep.
Yeah, there was. Oh, my God.
I like pancakes.
Yeah. So this is a completely, this is an awesome sport. And so I spoke to the kids about this. We're going to play that in a little bit. But Jessica.
Marco.
Do you play hockey?
Nope.
Am I ever going to get you into adult hockey?
Not a chance in hell.
I think you should.
No.
It's great cardio.
Sure. Not going to happen.
You got to sweat just putting the stuff on. How many times? How about as a hockey mom?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
I have a fun mug.
You do have a fun hockey mug.
I like that.
How much of a workout it is to dress
Jesus Christ
3 kids for one ice time?
It is physically and mentally
while
draining.
Holding your newborn.
It is
while your husband's off coaching track.
Hard to get tiny humans dressed for hockey. And especially when they're all in the same class and you have to have all 3 of them dressed at the exact same time. We used to show up an hour and a half early for hockey lessons.
If it takes,
so that I had time to get them all dressed and not be in like full-blown panic mode.
If it takes 10 to 15 minutes to dress one kid, it does not take 20 to 30 minutes for 2 kids. It doesn't work that way because while you're dressing the next kid, the first kid is undressing themselves or undying things.
Yeah, because then they have to go to the bathroom.
Well,
or
not just
something
that,
is itchy.
Or they want to help and they undo what you just did.
It's the worst. Super cute, but the worst.
Oh, my God. And we did have that right after kid number 4 was born.
Oh my God.
All 3 were on the ice at the same time.
So, yeah, you weren't there. And
I wasn't.
I showed up not an hour and a half early. And I was frantically trying to get these 3 dressed. And kid number 4 was hysterically crying that little tiny newborn cry in her stroller. And I was like, oh, my God, she's hungry. These kids are not dressed. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have a nervous breakdown. And this very nice dad with like 1 kid came and sat down next to us. And he was like, he got his kid dressed. And he's like, do you want me to help? And I was like, sure, that'd be awesome. And he was like, which one? And I was like, I don't care. Just pick a kid. Here's their stuff. I don't care. And he starts getting, I think it was kid number 1 dressed. And he's tying skates. And then kid number 2 looks up at me. I'm frantically like strapping his pads to him. And he goes, Mommy, my penis is getting hard. And I was like, what the actual Kid number 4 is still crying. And I look over at this dad and he was like, oh my God, no eye contact whatsoever. Because kid number 2 did not whisper it, said it very loudly. And I was like,
in the whole locker room.
There was nobody else. It was me and this other kid's dad. And I was like, why? And I looked at kid number 2 and I was like, we are getting dressed for hockey. We are not talking about your penis right now. I don't want to hear anything else about your penis.
Look, he was excited to play.
Kid number 3 is like, Space Cadet. And I just,
oh my God.
You showed up like well into practice. And I
always did. It's like as soon as I finished track practice
like,
and all the kids got picked up, I got the hell out of there and went racing down to South Bend.
That's how it worked. But you showed up and I have honestly never been more relieved to see you than I was in that moment on that day. And I swear to God, I thought I was going to burst into tears. It was horrible.
Oh,
highly entertaining.
I don't even know where to transition for that. So
you're welcome.
I'm going to take a quick segue and ask you a question I asked all the kids when we started our segments that I didn't ask you at the start of yours. What are you wearing?
I'm wearing a Notre Dame jersey.
There you go.
I don't like Notre Dame. I'm also not super fond of hockey jerseys. Where's your Chiefs jersey? You should have given me that one.
The numbers are falling off. So my IM team up at Michigan Tech, which had like retired numbers by the time I got there, was the Chiefs. Somehow the name and numbers, especially the numbers on the back, are just completely falling off after like 20 some years of having that jersey.
Imagine that. Things don't last forever. What are you wearing?
I've been mixing it up all day as we've been recording these. Right now, I'm actually wearing a Montreal Canadiens jersey.
Really? That looks like Chicago.
That is most absolutely not Chicago.
It's got a C and an H on it. And it
for the Habs.
What?
It's a long story. It doesn't make sense.
I don't care.
Don't worry. It's
neat.
French.
All right. Not Chicago. Got it.
Yeah. I had Chicago on earlier twice.
Oh.
And Western.
And you give me Notre Dame.
You could have worn the Pucks for Autism one.
You said it was
Indiana Beverage Distributor,
where the guy was too busy.
Where the guy's pushing a keg.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I have Journeyman Distillery because I have that team this season.
What else you got over there?
I also have Nile Steel Tank.
Okay. The point is clearly that we have way too many hockey jerseys in this house.
You could have worn one of the kids' jerseys. They got all sorts.
Those don't fit. They're tiny.
They're not that tiny anymore.
Well, not kid number 1.
No.
Hockey goalie.
Kid number 2 is pretty big too.
Yeah. Anyways, what else you got?
As a hockey mom, how do you feel watching our kids out on the ice?
I like it because I like that they're excited to be out there playing. They're trying to achieve something, and I feel really proud when I get to watch them play, especially when they score a goal or they stop a goal or they come really close to scoring. Like, it's exciting. I like to see them work hard and to like push themselves to be better than the last time they played. That's great. I do not like it.
I didn't ask that part yet.
I do not like it when somebody's kid shoves into my kid. I don't like that at all.
Boy, wait till you hear Kid 2 segment. Yes. But speaking of stopping goals and saving goals, how does it feel to be a goalie mom?
It's fine. I don't really...
Really? Because I think even as a goalie dad, and never mind that I'm a coach too, it's like, it's nerve-wracking because everyone's just like, well, we would be winning if your kid just stopped everything.
That part I do not like because people are and they don't understand what exactly...
It's high stress being the goalie parent.
It's not just the goalie that is protecting the goal. Like, they're supposed to be defensemen, and sometimes those kids are not doing their jobs. And then my kid gets blamed for it, and I don't like that because then my kid gets upset.
Those kids are hanging out at center ice going, damn, look at all the 4 of those kids shoot at our kid. It's like she should just save it all.
As far as like flipping out because people are shooting at her, they're running into her, whatever, I'm not too concerned about that because she puts on her pads and I have a field day kicking the crap out of those pads to see if it hurts her. And the answer is always no.
She is well padded.
Full of giggles, and she thinks it's hysterical that mommy's like trying to beat her up. But really, I'm trying to see if she's going to get hurt. So yeah,
she's not.
I'm not worried about that.
I am more concerned.
I'm worried about like the psychological damage of having her teammates say, "You suck, you didn't do your job," when really they're also not doing their job.
And we talked about that too because she plays on a co-ed team, and there's only 2 girls. At least this last season and the season before, there were only 2 girls on the team. But this last season, there's 2 girls on the team. There were 2 goalies. One was a boy, one was a girl. And even as coach, and both coaches, would look at this going, it's interesting that they think the other goalie, and the 2 goalies have very different styles of play. Mm-hmm. And the one made these amazing diving saves where he's coming across. Well, he's making these diving saves coming across the whole crease because he's completely out of position, whereas our kid looks kind of nonchalant because she's already over there.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much of it is just you're a bunch of 11 and 12-year-olds and it's boy versus girl.
I think it's boy versus girl.
Well, yeah.
Most of them are boys.
Most of them are boys, but the coaches all agreed she's the better goalie in terms of technique. Now, like, look, she's not the world's best goalie, and she's got plenty to work on, of course. But relatively speaking, one, she's consistently there.
Yeah.
Which is
that's half the battle.
That's more than half the battle. And she's got the better technique, and she has the more potential for improvement because she's got the foundations there that she can build on, whereas the other one has just got slop central going on. And it's like, dude, you got to take it down a notch to build up. Now, there is one coach who doesn't agree with all this because he's like, whoa, he makes more saves. It's like, or makes more amazing saves. It's like, no, he makes more.
Nobody cares if they're amazing saves.
Well, no one cares about that.
Is to get the save.
No one cares about this one coach's opinion. The coach we do care about is the one that's working with kid number 1 all the time. But it is stressful. I think you've got your hockey mime mug. You almost need another one that should say like may contain whiskey. Anytime you're watching her games.
Oh, putting whiskey in the coffee makes going to hockey games on Saturday mornings like 1,000 times better.
We need to talk to
hashtag not an alcoholic.
So
just somebody
because we added this
coffee.
other league, and one of the guys that's usually a captain, he's actually coming off of, he had COVID and he was just exhausted, and I had to ask one captain to take a season off because we decreased the number of teams. And I went to him, I'm like, look, you're one of my best captains, but I know you got to be exhausted from having COVID. Do you need a season off? Mm-hmm. He's like, yes, I would love it. I ended up drafting him. So like the jerseys to go with the company he works for went to my team. He's on my team, but he gets the benefit of like me running it. Mm-hmm. His daughter's a goalie.
Yep.
And all I can think of right now is his wife. And I don't know if she drinks during their games or she spikes her coffee during their games. But I can only imagine that she does. Especially off the stuff she posts on social media.
Okay. I don't follow her, so I don't know.
They're fun. They are fun.
I have no doubt they're fun. I just don't follow them.
Yes.
I'm super selective about who I follow and who I let follow me on social media.
All right.
We can probably cut that.
How about this? Hockey.
Yes.
Well, not as a player, not your sport.
Nope.
Yet.
Nope.
Maybe.
Nope.
We'll see.
No.
There's always life after 40. It's like a new life.
No.
As a sport in general or a spectator sport, you enjoy it?
Yeah.
Better than going to a football game?
Hockey players will beat the out of each other.
Love it.
Yes, I enjoy it. Also, blood bounces on ice, and that's fun to watch.
God.
I wanted to be a doctor. This is what you get. You knew what you were getting into when you married me. This is not a secret. I put that on full display while we were dating at Michigan Tech.
So
beat it with the stick. You knew.
Leading off this episode, we've got hockey. There's something for everyone. And speaking of which, we are now going to segue into the children.
Woo! Get it, kids.
First up, we have kid number 3. Kid number 3, how's it going?
Good.
What are you wearing today, kid number 3?
A Penguins jersey.
Why did you choose a Penguins jersey to put on?
Because Because it has yellow on it, and yellow is my favorite color, and I like penguins, and there's a penguin on it.
That's a good reason. It's a whole bunch of good reasons. So today we're talking about hockey.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know anyone who plays hockey?
Me?
Yeah. How many years have you played hockey?
5?
I don't think you've played for 5.
4?
You did start skating when you were 2. Well, let's count backwards. This year, what team were you on?
The Red Wolves.
And the year before that?
The Black Wolves.
And the year before that?
The Red Team.
The red team for Learn to Play. And what about before that?
Mm-mm.
Before that, you were in Learn to Skate.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got 3 full years of hockey in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at what level do you play at? Do you know? Might's also 8 and under, and which is perfect because how old are you?
8.
And what are you going to be playing next year? What will you be in the fall? How old will you be?
9.
No, you won't. Don't grow up too fast on me.
8.
You'll be 8, so you'll get 1 more year of mites, of U8 to go.
Okay.
Did you have fun this year?
Yes.
Yeah? What was your favorite memory from this past season?
When it got confusing when it was the yellow team and the red team versus the blue team and the black team.
Wait. The very last game, the consolation game for all the teams that lost in the semifinals and the quarterfinals in the Big Mite tournament, that was your favorite memory?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't playing goalie or any of the other
goalie.
stuff? Goalie? Well, which was it?
Goalie.
Or was the whole thing just awesome?
It was all good.
What would you rather play, goalie or skating out and shooting and scoring goals?
Skating out and shooting and scoring goals.
Okay. When it comes time to play goalie, though, you get excited. Is goalie fun?
Yes.
Why is goalie fun? People are shooting pucks at you. Why do you find that fun?
Because I get to block them.
Okay. But you would rather go out and be shooting at other people, right?
Yeah.
Shooting pucks. Now, with your age group, sometimes we play half ice and sometimes we play cross ice, side to side. Which style do you prefer?
Cross ice?
Why do you like cross ice more?
Because it's easier.
Why is it easier?
Because people don't bang me around that much.
Do people bang you around in hockey?
Yes.
Why?
To get the puck.
Okay, well, I mean, that happens in hockey, though, with banging around. Why is it troubling, though?
Because they always fall over.
I don't know about you. Don't always fall over. You've got a pretty low center of gravity. It's amazing when kids try to come in and knock you down. It's kind of hard to knock you down.
Because I'm smaller than everybody else?
Not well, yes. And it used to be more so true, especially when you moved out of Learn to Play after 1 year. And you moved up to Mites. You were one of the youngest kids there, and you're not the tallest guy for your age quite yet. We have a feeling you're like your grandfathers, both of them, who were some of the shorter kids in their class growing up, and they got to high school and had massive growth spurts.
Mm-hmm.
So that aside, though, this last year we started it, this winter season we just completed, and I started noticing there wasn't a huge height difference like there was the year before when you were playing mites. You went from being like the smallest guy out there to now you're fitting in with the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
And next year, you're going to grow more. You're already growing. You're eating everything. You're the one that told me for Easter you wanted to have steak and meatballs for dinner. How about a veggie, buddy? But so I think you're going to blend right in with another year of growth. But I can see why you're a little, nervous about everybody knocking into you. Although that first day when I reminded you back in October that you've grown, you're big. Go after that puck. Go and take on those other kids. The first kid you went and battled for the puck was the biggest kid in Mites at that point, who just happens to be one of your classmates. Do you have any fear going after that puck, or are you still nervous?
No.
No. How about this? Is hockey a sport only for big kids, tall kids, or all size of kids?
All sides.
Yeah. Why is that?
Because there's a bunch of tiny people.
Well, so if you're big and tall, that's great. But what can you do in hockey to kind of compensate for being one of the shorter kids?
Go elbow to elbow with them.
elbow to elbow them and do what?
And try and knock them over so you can get the puck, and it's easier because you're shorter and you can go under them.
That's an interesting answer. I was kind of like leaning towards skate faster and go around them. But yeah, okay. You can also use because you guys did some little body drills and angle in right up next to them and then steal that puck and get in close. Circling back though, are you nervous about getting in close anymore? I know you used to be, because these kids, especially like when you were in Learn to Play, they were bigger and they would fall on top of you because they couldn't skate well. The mice skate better. Are you still nervous about kids falling on you, or is it not a big deal because they're basically your height now?
No.
No, you're not nervous anymore? No? Mr. No Fear? All right, so let's go back. You had all these memories. Some of the things were, did you like the games this season?
Yes.
Did you like when we had the jamborees and teams from other towns came in?
Yes.
Did you like having to wear a mask while you played?
No.
You had two different style masks for games this season. You had the Under Armour mask that you wore with your normal cage on your helmet, and you had another one made by one of the hockey manufacturers. I think it was CCM. That's strapped right into your cage that's attached to your helmet. Which one was more comfortable to play in?
The Under Armour one?
Really? Mm-hmm. So you want me to take that CCM one out of your cage?
No.
Do you like that one more?
Yeah.
Okay. So if it's not, you said the Under Armour one was more comfortable than the one in your helmet. Why do you want me to leave the other one in then?
I don't know.
Do you like it more?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's stuck to my helmet.
And then you don't have to worry about forgetting about it? It doesn't fall off your ears, which is nice inside the helmet, because that was kind of a pain when we'd have to readjust it. Is there anything you didn't like about this past season?
Yeah.
What didn't you like?
That kept on going up and stealing the puck from everybody.
Well, that's going to happen, especially at the U8 level, where teammates will go steal the puck from other teammates to go score. You know what, though? I'll let you know something. There's a guy in the over 40 league who he's been off for a few seasons, and he's back. And this time I didn't draft him, but he was on my team before. Notorious for stealing the puck from other people. And this is a guy that's a good 20 years older than me. So most players, once they get past the mite level, outgrow stealing the puck from their own teammates to make a play, but some don't. So I wish I could tell you when you get up to squirts, the U10 level, it'll never happen. But you know what? In adult hockey, there's still, every so often, we come across a guy who's poaching the puck from his teammates. It's kind of silly, isn't it? Yeah. Anything you regret this last season, like that we didn't get to do because of COVID, hockey related?
No. I don't know. That I didn't get to do the Mike Cup, and I didn't get to
the state championship Mike Cup. Because we did a Mike Cup at the rink. I organized that tournament.
And also that we didn't get to go to watch Notre Dame play.
That's true. We usually have a mini season pass, and then I split up the games amongst the kids, and it's dad and kid night, and we go to the rink, but they didn't let anyone in unless you were family or somehow associated with the team because of COVID. And the local minor league team canceled their season, and we haven't been to any of the NHL games.
That there wasn't sticks and pucks.
There's starting to be some sticks and pucks. Did you enjoy sticks and pucks? Yeah, well, maybe we'll go to some of those this spring.
Yay.
What is your favorite all-time, not just this season, what's your favorite hockey memory? Hockey experience? Hockey-related thing we've done?
Doing the Mike Cup and going to the Notre Dame games.
Oh, when we did the Mike Cup last year, and it was over in Detroit. We stayed in a hotel. It was one of the last normal things we did before everything got shut down for COVID.
Going to the Blackhawks versus Red Wings game.
That's right. That night we drove over to Detroit. You and I went to the Blackhawks Red Wings game. The next day we went and we did the Mike Cup tournament. And then we came home. And we stayed over in a hotel. That was fun. Did you like the view at the Red Wings Blackhawks game? Yeah? What could you see?
4 million people.
There were not 4 million people, but there was a lot of people there. We had great views. We're sitting right on the aisle, straight behind the goalie, so we could see the whole ice.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of Little Caesars Arena?
I liked it because there was pizza and things, and also because where we were sitting, I could see if there was a goal or not.
Yeah, we could see that very, very well. And there definitely was pizza. There's all sorts of food. Didn't you have a whole pile of French fries too?
Yeah.
Yeah. No wonder you loved it there. Well, what are the big goals you want to work on between now and next winter's hockey season? Like if we're doing garage hockey or we go to sticks and pucks, what do you want to work on?
Flipping the puck and tossing it.
Oh, you want to flip the puck and toss it up? All right. Anything else?
Lifting the stick instead of slapping it.
Oh, when you steal the puck from other people?
Uh-huh.
Where you lift up their stick, then grab the puck and skate off with it?
Uh-huh.
Those are all good goals. We can work on that stuff. Anything else?
Trying to get faster than Kid 2.
You got some work to do. He's pretty quick when he wants to be, and he's got long legs, but you could do it. How about this? Next year, because all the teams get different colors. So you were on the black team last year. You were on the red team this year. Your jerseys are pretty awesome this year. Mm-hmm. Next year, what team would you want to be on? You want to be red again? You want to be black again? You want to be something new?
Green or yellow.
Did you like the yellow they had this year?
Not really.
It was kind of a mustardy yellow, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it if they made it better.
If it made it like more of a brighter yellow, more like a Big Bird yellow.
Yeah.
What about in green? Do you want like a regular like Crayola box of 8 colors green? Do you want a dark forest green? Do you want a neon glow in the dark green?
Neon glow in the dark.
Kind of like the Dallas Stars just brought out with it. They have a black with neon green uniforms. All right, Kid 3. I think we've covered just about everything. One last question. Who's your favorite hockey player?
Crosby?
Okay, bud. Let's move on to the next kid.
Okay.
Next up, we have kid number 1.
Hello.
How's it going, kid 1? And we have kid number 4, who's giving me the pouty lip. She was very excited about this all week, and now she's not. Oh, you don't have to talk if you don't want to. Okay? Kid number 1, what are you wearing?
A black Corey Crawford jersey
Why do you have a Corey Crawford jersey?
because I like it.
Why do you like it?
Because it's the Blackhawks and they're my favorite team.
And why Corey Crawford?
Because he's my favorite goalie.
Nice. That's a good reason for a goalie girl.
Yeah.
And you've got the Winter Classic throwback with the big vintage cream stripe across the middle, the old style Blackhawks logo.
Yep.
And over next to you, she doesn't want to talk, but what is your sister wearing?
She is wearing a red Patrick Kane jersey.
Also from the Blackhawks.
Yeah.
We got a Blackhawks thing going. I've got my very, very old white Blackhawks jersey.
Nice.
So much so that it's got the old Western Conference logo on the hip, and it's actually by Starter, which they don't make jerseys anymore. Very vintage. Well, with that out of the way, we are going to chat about hockey some more, because I just finished chatting with your brother. And we're going to chat about girls hockey too.
Ooh.
And goalie hockey and everything else you want to talk about.
Okay.
So leading off, how long have you been playing hockey?
6 years, I think.
Well, let's go backwards. I did this with your brother too. What team were you on this last winter that just wrapped up?
The Black Garden Wolves the Black Garden Wolves team.
Okay, and the year before that?
The White Garden Wolves.
And the year before that?
Wasn't that the black and yellow team?
That was the black and yellow team before you were the Wolves. You were just the black and yellow garden team.
Yeah.
The year before that?
I think I was gray.
Yeah, the Gray Thunder.
Yeah.
You guys should have been the Sharks, but you all decided to be the Thunder. That's right. That was your when you were the Thunder. So let's see. You were the Black Wolves this year, your first year of Pee-wees, U12. You were the White Wolves, your second year of Squirts, U10. Your first year of Squirts, U10, you were the black team with the gold shoulders for the Garden. The year before that was you were a Mite, a U8, and you were on the Gray Thunder. And then before you were on the Gray Thunder, you were in Learn to Play. Do you remember what you were your second year of Learn to Play?
Was I black or was I white?
You were on the black team.
Okay.
And the year before that, your first year of Learn to Play.
I was white.
So that's 6 seasons of hockey now.
Yeah.
And not a lot of colors for you in terms of you've been black, you've been white, and you've been gray.
I keep trying to get to blue, but I...
Well, there was some blue in your white jersey. There was some blue in your black jersey.
But I want to be on the blue team.
The blue team, that's true. Your brother got to be the blue team this last year.
I wanted to take his jersey.
Well, it was kind of the inverse of yours. His was a blue body with black and silver on the sleeves, and yours was a black body with blue and silver on the sleeves. And your mother, like, a few times went to the wash. She's like, which one does this go to? Because they don't have the initials on it. I'm like, okay, come on, seriously?
Next year they'll have the initials.
Yeah, you'll be back on the same team, and so it'll be your initials and your last name, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it goes. You got to get closer.
Won't that it'll also be that way for spring hockey?
You guys they won't do special jerseys for spring hockey. It's not around long enough.
Oh, yeah.
By the time the jerseys showed up, spring hockey would be over.
Yeah. The people getting the jersey would be like, where's all the kids at?
So very true. Now, you were our first kid to play hockey.
Yeah.
Because you're our first kid. Kind of explain how it is you got into hockey.
He asked me if I wanted to play hockey, and I said, what's that? And then you, told me, and I said, okay.
Well, you've been to hockey games since you were, what, 3?
Oh,
You went to your first hockey game? You went and saw the Capitals play?
No, you asked me if I wanted to play hockey, and I was just like, yes.
And your mom wasn't too sold on it, but because you didn't know how to skate yet. You had never been skating before, but then they told us, at least at that point, well, Learn to Play, a lot of the kids don't know how to skate. We teach them how to skate while they're there. So what sold your mom on it was, well, she can either take Learn to Skate, or she can do Learn to Play, and they'll put her in full hockey pads, and they'll teach her to skate, and so when she falls down, she's padded up. So your mom was sold.
Okay.
And that first year was rough, wasn't it?
Yeah.
How many times did you cry, or how often did you cry when we were there?
Every Wednesday for like a month.
Yes. And then we'd get in the car, and I'd double check to make sure, do you really want to do this? Am I being an awful father putting you through it? And what would you say?
I like it.
I like it. You usually said, I love it. I can't wait to go back. And I'm like, you just cried for like the last 15 minutes
Because
out on the ice.
Saturdays I got to use the net.
That's true. But it's also that learning curve of new muscles and getting used to skates, and your feet kind of hurt. And that rink was only enclosed on one side, so it was cold and miserable. I had to cut off the sleeves on some of my Under Armour t-shirts and make like socks that would basically go over your ears underneath your helmet. And you had to wear sweatpants underneath your pads, and Under Armour cold gear with sweatshirts, fuzzy sweatshirts underneath your pads, and made it hard to move. And that's not the fun way to learn. It's so nice that we have an indoor rink now.
Yeah.
You got the hang of it after partway through that first season, and then of course it got warm, and everybody was heading down to South Bend, and so we sent you down to South Bend for extra stuff. And at that point, your brother was like, "Yeah, I want to do this too," because you were having so much fun coming home. So then he got involved and started playing hockey, and then it just went from there. And then your little brother couldn't wait to do it. And Kid 4 says she wants to learn to be a hockey player.
She has purple laces on her skates, and I think she still comes over to you and is like, "Can I wear my skates? I want to put them on."
She is. Hey, Kid 4, do you want to be a player that skates around, or you want to be a goalie?
I want to be a player.
Oh, you want to be a player? You want to score goals?
You want to score goals on me?
Yeah. I don't know if people could hear this. She said, yeah. Little voice over there playing on her phone. Well, let's get into that a little bit. So you, of course, everybody starts as a player skating out. When was your first time, do you remember, playing goalie?
In the parent-kid game when in like mites because I sat in goal and played with the snow.
Well, actually, it wasn't mites because we didn't do a parent-kid game in mites.
No, I was in learn to play.
Learn to play that
sat
first.
in goal and I played with snow.
Yeah. But what was the first time you actually put on goalie pads and got goalie instruction and played goalie, not just a player standing in front of a net?
When I was on the grade team.
The Great Thunder, when you were a mite.
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Yes.
What did you like about it? What was the draw? Because obviously you've caught the goalie bug.
I liked that I could sit in a net and I could just slide around and say no pucks today and make the pucks go in. It was fun. And
Was it that you didn't have to go skate it? What you thought at the time you didn't have to skate as hard. You've definitely learned since then that the goalie does a lot of skating in a very small amount of area.
The goalie has to be one of the fastest players on the ice. A goalie has to be kind of one of the fastest people on the ice with their pads on.
Yes, and one of the best skaters, both in terms of footwork and edge work. But was that the draw originally? Was that you thought incorrectly, but you thought you didn't have to work as hard, or was it just the shutting down and ruining other players' days by denying them goals?
The second one.
Just ruining their day because you can't score.
Yeah, that's basically me every time try to score on me. I still do that.
I'll have to bleep out his name.
Oh, yeah.
I will say, though, partway through the year, we had a 3-on-3 tournament. Your opponent from out of town canceled. Suddenly, we needed something, so we did. We'd already brought up kids from U10 to play before, and it was like U10 All-Stars versus the U12s, the U10 All-Stars I coached, and we won.
Yeah.
With you as our goalie.
Yeah.
But we brought them up and we did a little 3-on-3 tournament. We mixed in some of these U10 players in with the U12s, and then you and the other goalie were just goalies for all the teams. But your brother was on one of the teams. He came up and he scored a goal on you. Boy, that made his day.
Yeah.
I think that made his season.
Yeah.
I don't know. We haven't. Well, I'll ask him when we get to it.
He scored on me like twice this season, and I think that made him really happy to score on me at the end of the year.
Yeah. It always makes him excited when he scores, especially against you.
Yeah. Because every time before practice that we have together, I'll go up to him and I tell him, "No goals on me today, brother." And I hit him on the head with my stick, and then I run away.
You know, you mentioned that the goalie has to be the best skater, and the goalie has to have the best footwork and everything, and the fastest skater, and do that with all those pads on. And how originally you thought the goalie just kind of sat there and hung out.
Yeah.
Kind of walk us through, because I know all the things you do to prep for goalie, but walk the listeners through what is it that you do off the ice, the prep for being goalie on the ice on a regular basis.
So I put my pads on.
No, not like I do one strip at a time. What kind of exercises, what kind of workouts, what kind of like training do you do to prep for being goalie?
So I sit in my butterfly for a while so that I can have a better.
And what is a butterfly? Because most of them know that as like a growing. Yeah. Most people know that as a stretch they do, where you put the bottoms of your feet together and let your legs flap up and down.
The goalie butterfly is where you have your legs like out. But when you have your pads on, it looks like your knees aren't together. But when you have your pads on, it's supposed to look like your knees are together, and it like forms a giant wall. I think it's called a butterfly because your legs are out and wide.
It looks like a butterfly with the wings out.
Yeah.
And you want to just make yourself big, and so you cover the bottom of the net, and then you got your body up and your arms out to take up as much room as possible. So you get down in your butterfly stretch, because it is a stretch, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you don't want to pull anything. You got to work on your flexibility.
Mm-hmm.
What else do you work on?
I take one of my Taekwondo belts that I'm not using, and I put it on my leg, and I hold my leg up in the air with it, and I move it back and forth.
Why do you do that?
Cause I think it strengthens the leg muscles.
It does. It
something
works on
like
those
that.
core strength in your leg and flexibility.
Yeah.
What else do you work on?
I do wall sits
Why do you do wall sits?
because it makes me get lower when I need to, so I can flop down easily.
Oh, and getting that goalie position, so you get used to kind of doing that crouch, that the squat for basically an hour,
Yeah.
and so your legs don't lock up on you. So it works on that strength, but it also works on those abs too, because you can't just bend over and fold in half, right?
Yeah.
By the way, how big is that opening in the net that you protect? Because you're not using, when you were in Learn to Play, we had the little itty bitty nets. And then when you were a mite, we had intermediate nets. But since you've been a squirt, now as a peewee too, you use a full regulation size net. How big is that?
It's 4 feet tall and 6 feet wide.
6 feet wide, huh? And are you 6 feet tall?
No, I'm like 5-ish.
So if you were to lay down, your head and your feet wouldn't touch the side. So you really have got to be active and jumping around in that crease, don't you?
Yeah. Because my head pops up above the net, so I'm taller than 4 feet.
Well, yes, you're taller than 4 feet with skates on.
No, but without skates on too, though.
Yeah, I know.
Because we have one.
Yeah. Okay, so you do wall sits.
Yeah.
What else do you do?
I put my knee up against like a wall and I lean on it for like 10 seconds.
Oh, to stretch.
Yeah.
Do you work on any active drills?
I have an app on my phone that I will sit in my butterfly with my pads on and I'll have like colorful objects around me. And what it does is like it'll blink a color and I have to go touch that color thing. And it's supposed to go fast, but I do it kind of slow. But I've got
Slow at first is good to get the hang of it.
Yeah.
And that works on your reaction time and thinking?
Yeah.
Anything else?
I start in like my goalie position, and then I go down to one knee, and then pop back up, and I go to the other knee, and then I pop back up, and I do that for a little bit.
What about when you go into the basement with your siblings?
Well, I have them chuck balls at me, and that's fun.
That's true. They were having trouble lifting the racket balls and soft hockey balls, lifting them with the indoor plastic sticks. And, of course, if you're the little mini net we have inside the house, you can block the whole bottom. So then I just told them, hey, grab this and just throw it at your sister.
Yeah.
Does playing goalie hurt?
No, not really.
You got enough pads on?
Yeah.
Does it take a special kind of person to want to stand in front of a net and stop pucks with their face?
Yes.
Do you think you're a little weird because you enjoy that?
No. Once I was in school, and I was sitting on my stomach with my legs out, but they were like in a position where like it would have been.
Wait a minute, I'm trying to picture this. You were sitting on your stomach.
Yeah,
So laying on your belly?
Yeah, I was laying on my belly, and I had my legs out, and they were like positioned in like the way that they would be positioned for like a butterfly. And my friend asked me, "Are you okay? Are your legs broken or something?" And I said, "No, why?" Because they didn't understand why my legs looked like that.
Oh, my. What do you think in becoming a goalie? What's been your greatest resource in terms of training and education and coaching?
Coach Dan.
Coach Dan's pretty awesome, isn't
And
he?
you.
Well, yeah, me, but I get the stuff from Coach Dan. He like messages it over to me.
And also Instagram.
There's a lot of stuff on Instagram. There's some good resources out there. And YouTube.
Yeah.
You do love the YouTube. And I'm showing my age by calling it the YouTube.
Yeah.
I think with goalie, though, we've come a long way because when you were a mite, everybody got a turn. And so you got to be goalie like, 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
And then your first year of squirts, the first day or the first game, you hopped in not realizing, oh, wait, at squirts, they can all lift the puck. So and you're used to a smaller net. So you get in front of the big net and all of a sudden you go down in your butterfly and everything goes whizzing over your shoulders.
I didn't like that.
So you spent most of that season playing defense. And your second year, you really decided, I want to be a goalie. You got goalie pads, but at squirts, you're still only supposed to spend a max of 50% of your time in net. And because you had so many younger players playing up, it's still at the level, too, where everyone who wants to play gets a turn. Well, at one point, you want to be a goalie, and there was... What?
I
Okay. At one point, we got to January, and you didn't get to be in net at any of the practices or games because there's so many other kids in line to play goalies that you and I started going to the Wednesday morning coffee clubs for adults. What kid for? Oh, you're all into your game. Anyway, you and I started getting up at 5 a.m. to go to the rink so you could skate and get goalie and get ice time. And we were going to Sticks and Pucks, which is a goalie nightmare because people are like shooting at your back and stuff. So I'd spend my whole time there just trying to protect you. To get you some extra goalie time. And it started paying off, and you were taking goalie clinic.
Yeah.
And then this year, we went into the year, and you were planning on being in a competition with how many different kids for the goalie spots?
6.
Yeah. It ended up getting down to just 2 for the 2 spots.
Yeah.
And you were more consistently there. And the nice part was you were asked to go and help out at other U10 when they needed an extra goalie or this or that. So that was helpful. So you really got to be in this year. I mean, you didn't skate out at all this year, did you?
Nope.
No. Whereas like last year,
My
you were the goalie some of the time, but not all the time. You were usually on defense or sometimes as a winger. This year was nice. You were doing good back there. Didn't get a lot of support out of your defense.
Yeah, that's true.
And still got more learning as a goalie to go. But I was proud of you back there.
One of my friends who plays defense, because I told her that I'm going to be goalie like maybe 80% of the time. And
Yeah, 100% of the time.
She kept asking me, when are you going to be a player again? When are you going to be a player again?
Well, next season we got a young lady from Kid 2's team who will be moving up. So there should be some more girls.
Yeah.
And that's another topic I want to like chat about a little bit. But let's wrap up the goalie stuff. Now, with the Coach AJ was talking about how he would like you to see you come out and skate out as a player a little bit more to work on your footwork and your skating skills some more, not wearing pads.
I don't like doing that in goalie gear.
No, but what I was thinking was if you do the girls' clinic over the summer, that would be a time to suit back up as a player.
Okay.
And work on your skating drills and then be ready to be back as goalie for the winter.
Can I have Kid 2's old skates?
He's still wearing them. What's wrong with the ones you have?
I don't know if they fit.
They're bigger than Kid 2's.
Okay.
Yeah.
What size do they equal in like normal shoes?
I don't know. I'll go look at them.
Okay.
We got skates in every size around here, so it's not a problem. We got the next size bigger too.
Okay.
Okay, so that's goalie. Let's talk about you're a goalie, but you're also a girl.
Yeah.
You're a goalie girl.
Yeah.
You're a hockey girl.
Once somebody in the locker room during like scores, I took off my helmet and she was surprised because she thought I was like a boy with long hair.
Especially in hockey, we got the hockey hair going on and everything.
Yeah.
When you started, how many girls were there in Learn to Play?
There was a bunch.
There's a bunch, and then it kind of like, how many were on your gray team? At that point, we took, because your first couple teams, the white team and the black team and Learn to Play, everyone's just, it's the team of the day. When you got to Mike, so they actually broke up into teams, on that gray team, how many girls were on that team?
There were 2.
And then the following year on that black and gold squirt team, how many girls were there?
2.
That's right. And the White Wolves?
2.
Seeing the pattern here. And on the Black Wolves?
2.
And then now, whatever color wolves we are next year, although I would love it if you guys were the Garden Gnomes. I think it would be awesome. I think you're going to have 3.
Yeah.
Or if we pick up some more, that'd be cool. How do you feel with that many boys and not a lot of girls?
Meh.
Man. Do you want more girls there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be nice to grow girls hockey around here.
I'm trying to get my friend to come play again, but she says no.
Well, that's true. She did play one of the spring clinics.
And she was happy, but
She was actually, for a kid who had never played hockey before, she did great.
yeah. Also, I'm trying to get another one of my friends to come play hockey again because she used to play hockey, but then she started doing gymnastics, and I don't know if she's gonna come back.
Probably not.
she's on
She's
the
pretty
competitive
big into gymnastics. They're
She's
pretty
also
heavily
on-
invested.
She's also on the competitive team, and that takes up most of her week.
Yeah. But your other friend that plays basketball, and she ran with us a little bit last summer.
Yeah.
her brother, actually both her brothers play. She did very well. It'd be kind of fun to see if she wanted to do just the girls' clinic over the summer, since there's not much else going on in the summers.
Yeah, I should probably ask her.
What was it? 2 summers ago was the first time they did a girls' night, and you came off the ice and like, that is the most fun I've ever playing hockey. And you went out as a skater for that one, not as a goalie.
Yeah.
And that was even more surprising because usually goalie were all your best hockey memories were as a goalie, and all of a sudden you're out there as a skater and you thought it was thrilling. So last summer they had a girls' clinic. Was it last summer or spring? Somewhere. No, it wasn't spring because we didn't have spring hockey. Last summer we had the girls' clinic. At the end of the summer when the rink finally had the opportunity to open back up at a limited basis.
What'd you find?
A bow.
Nice.
Nice. That was fun. They're going to do it again. I've been asked to look into creating a girls' tournament.
Yeah.
Because just before the whole COVID thing shut everything down, I discovered a girls-only tournament up in Wisconsin. They were looking for goalies. They kind of drafted their teams, and then, of course, we didn't get to go anywhere. They just had what they deferred that tournament, but I think most of the spots were filled, and we're eyeing it, but it would be something fun to do locally and help build up girls hockey here because there's not a lot of options unless you, once we get to a certain point, we don't have a girls travel team yet. It'd be nice if we had like kind of a girls all-star team, pull all the girls together. There's an operation out of South Bend, but they have what age groups they offer depend on how many girls they have. And some girls have to play up and you can't really play down. So if you've got 1 or 2 older girls, chances are they're not going to get to play.
Yeah.
Some of the other girls around here play house hockey, which is fine. And that's what you do. But like, you know, they might even be 15 playing with the U14s because we don't have a U16 team.
Yeah.
Some of the other girls, local girls, are playing in teams farther north in Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, just because that's where the teams are. But if we could get kind of pull people together down here and offer a girls tournament, that would be fun. And maybe even have a girls team that goes to tournaments, like you're all on your various travel team or you're on your house team or whatever, and then it's like, hey, let's go do a tournament, or even like a spring summer tournament team. That would be cool.
Yeah.
So things we're looking into, and hopefully by the time your sister goes up, I'm looking at like your brother's level, your younger brother's level. There's a whole bunch of girls.
Yeah.
The hard part is keeping them because they look up and they go, and what's my option? To go play high school varsity hockey full check against the boys? Because girls hockey, it's non-checking.
Yeah.
Even at the professional level and the Olympic level, they're not checking. Now, don't mistake that for non-contact. Those girls can throw the body around, but they're not like leaving big checks like the NHL. It's coincidental contact. It can be rough, but
Don't they just like punch them in the wall? For, like,
they do.
second?
They do the kind of stuff you do in peewees and in squirts, where you're learning how to use the angles and use your bore, and it's kind of like to borrow a term from NASCAR, rubbing is racing. You know, they're bumping into each other, but they're not doing a full bore check into people.
Yeah.
Now, you, more than a lot of other girls, have probably a better shot if you wanted to go play varsity or JV hockey because you're the goalie and you're not supposed to hit the goalie.
Yeah.
So there's an option there, but the other thing is, you know, you're going to compete against all the other goalies, and there's something to be said for just getting to play against girls. I know you get really excited on girls' night.
Yeah. I'm really excited about the chance that we might have a summer tournament
Why is that?
because tournaments are fun.
Yes, they are. But is it the excitement that because tournaments are fun, or is it that it's not only a tournament, but it's a girls-only tournament?
Both.
What about it being girls-only is exciting? Just that you get to meet other girls who like doing what you do?
That and I get to play with my friends, and that's fun.
Does it have anything to do with the boys are stinky, especially hockey boys?
Maybe. The girls' locker room smells a lot better than the boys' one.
I will say, walking by the door when like somebody comes out, the airflow coming out of that locker room smells considerably better than the air coming out of the boys' locker rooms when you walk by those doors.
Yeah.
Or sometimes when the boys just get on the ice, it's like, oh my God. Are you sealing your sweaty hockey gear in a bag and just letting it ferment?
There is one like U14 goalie who I hated going in the net that he had been in because he smelled super bad and the net would smell super bad and I just didn't like it.
Wait, he smelled so bad that a net that's full of holes
Uh-huh.
was holding in the stench?
Yeah, and I didn't like walking past him because skating past him because like it would leave like a trail of stink.
Were there green lines coming off of him?
No, but you can smell it like 2 feet away.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
What does help is I always make you air out your stuff when you get home. So our whole garage wall is just hooks of hockey gear and open hockey bags. I don't want you guys leaving your stuff there stinking up the joint.
I unpack it, but like if I have hockey the next day, I'll just leave it packed so that.
And that's where it begins.
Yeah.
I got to bleep out your name later, but that's where the whole stinkiness sets in when you start getting lazy and not opening up your bag. Even when I play the next night, I still come home. I pull out all my soft stuff, my Under Armour, my jerseys, my socks, and everything. Throw those in the wash, and then I hang up all my gear, and then I reload the bag.
I only sometimes leave it in if I know that I'm gonna have to get ready super fast.
Oh, okay.
It's like the nights that we all have hockey, because then I know that I'm probably because they're probably gonna still be getting dressed. Because I know that the boys are still, because when we all have hockey, I know that the boys are still probably going to get dressed in the garage. I'm going to have to load in, fill up all the water bottles, grab all the masks, grab all the sticks, grab my bag, wait for them to get done, and then...
You know, part of this is just because you're the oldest kid and you got to help. And you're like strong enough to lift the stuff too.
Most of the stuff.
But it does help.
Get my bag all the way.
That's a lot of stuff in that bag.
Yeah. You having fun? Kid number 4, are you having fun?
No, she's getting tired. She's getting hungry too. So we're heading towards lunchtime with the way we're recording this one. So this whole hockey thing, it's a journey. It's a journey you've been on since you're a little kid, and you're 11 now.
Yeah.
So where do you see this hockey journey going? Where do you see yourself down the line? Not just next year, but then in high school and into adulthood, where do you see yourself going at the various levels? What are your goals?
To get into college hockey.
Really? I know some college hockey players.
Yeah.
I know some ladies who played college hockey. I play hockey with them.
Mm-hmm.
You need to I'll get you to sit down and talk to them.
Yeah.
All right. Well, getting into college, what do you see beyond college? Are you going to just go play college hockey and then be done?
I don't know.
Do you want to be a professional hockey player after that? Do you want to be a beer league, like adult league hockey player later in life?
I don't know.
You want to come play, if you're in town, come play with me?
Maybe.
That would be fun. Well, we'll dial it back, to get into college.
You shot on me, and I stopped it, but then I smelled like burning rubber. And I stared at you, and I was like, why did you shoot so hard?
Gotta learn. Tough love from the dad. To get into college, though, where do you see yourself in high school as a player? Playing with the varsity team, us driving and trying to find you a girls' team, us trying to, build a girls' team here, or what?
I don't know.
Do you see yourself playing in high school?
Yeah.
Still being a goalie?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then where do you see yourself, because you're a 6th grader right now, you got a few more years in middle school, what do you see as next year?
The 2nd year of Pee-wees.
Yeah, and your brother will be with you. So, look, I know, but it's another year where it's less driving for your mother and I, because at least 2 of you are on the ice at the same time.
Yeah.
What do you see coming out of next year? Because you had a pretty young Pee-wee group this last year.
Mm-hmm.
And we're getting some pretty talented kids coming up as long as they stick with it.
That's true.
So you should have a little bit more support in terms of defense. The best defense is a good offense. If they're down there trying to score goals on the other goalie, they're not down messing around in front of you.
Yeah.
Actually, let's chat about that real quick, because you had some challenges in terms of goalie you had to work through with defensemen who are pretty new and didn't really that have never had the opportunity to play goalie, because usually that's the nice part about mites and squirts. Everyone's had a turn.
Yeah.
So even if goalie's not for them, they understand the challenges back there. You got some new players who have never done that before.
Also,
And what did that create? What problems did that create for you this last year?
They didn't know how to skate. I couldn't really see a lot of stuff because they didn't know, because they knew to stand in front of the net and protect, but they didn't know that if you stand right on the edge of the crease or a little bit in front of the goalie, the goalie can't see anything, and even though it's going to be blamed on the goalie for the goal, it's basically your fault because you didn't let the goalie have a chance.
And what they like to call that is screening the goalie, which as a offensive player you want to do that, but as a defenseman you probably don't want to screen your own goalie.
Yeah.
I also noticed they give you a lot of dirty looks anytime you let a goal in.
If we lost a game against a really hard travel team and they blocked my vision the rest of the time, some kids would come over and they just give me dirty looks and they didn't say good job or anything.
Yeah, the coaches and I were just frustrated because it's like, when the goalie goes and makes a save and there's a rebound, another save, and you do that, like, once you've made about 3 or 4 saves, even at the NHL, we don't expect the goalie to keep making those. At some point, the defenseman has to come. And so when we got frustrating as coaches, we're looking at, like, your defensemen are standing at the blue line watching you make all these saves on 3-on-none, 4-on-none situations.
Yeah.
Poor kid one, she's got no support.
Yeah.
And they would just kind of stand back like, well, they're shooting. Well, that's a nice shot. Well, that's another shot. Well, that's another nice shot. Oh, that one went in. Oh, that's all the goalie's fault. It's like,
you didn't come help.
Exactly. I'm hoping as a dad and as a coach that as they grow and mature, they're going to finally learn. And I gave them that warning at the end of the season too. Like, if you're playing offense and you're screening the goalies will poke and prod and chip at you. And if it's your own goalie and you're getting in their way and you're not listening to the goalie feedback, they're going to do it. And that was the one where I finally told you, like, in that tournament, your own defenseman, who was one of the kids who just was not kind to you, nice, he was not being a good teammate, and then he was basically decided he wanted to play goalie on top of you. And it was right, like, if he doesn't move, just start poking him with your stick.
He didn't get the message.
No,
I poked him like 10 times that entire thing.
He will eventually get the message, and you didn't hurt him because he's wearing pads, but he gotta, that the coaches weren't happy with him. The goalie's not happy with him. At some point, he'll get the message, like, go play your position and it all works out.
Mm-hmm. Because he'll just stand in front of me while everybody's at the other end of the ice, and I can't see anything. I can't even see where the puck is at the other end of the ice. And I keep trying to tell him, go skate and do this. And he says, no, I have to stay here.
Is there a life lesson in all of this off the ice?
Listen to what you have to do.
Listen to instruction. What else?
Do your part and everything works.
Do your job.
Yeah.
And anything else? How about some teamwork lessons here? When you go to work someplace, what if you're not doing your job?
If you're the partner
on the team?
in like a group who does nothing, but you still get the good grade, eventually you're gonna end up getting a bad grade, and you have to learn, and you have to start doing the work if you want it to get better.
Yes, very true.
Yeah.
That's good.
And if you don't help out, then you still get to be part of that victory. Did you really deserve it?
Also very key.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to wrap up, but before we do, what do you envision for next season? In theory, on paper, we're expecting to have at least one more girl on the team.
Yeah.
What do you expect out of gameplay? What do you expect out of your development as a goalie and as a player? What color jerseys do you want?
Blue.
You want blue?
Yes.
Royal blue, teal, aqua.
Coach AJ keeps giving me neutral colors, and I want blue.
Well, I do think he's trying to get it so you guys all ultimately have a dark color and a light color. So if you show up and we need to do teams, you've got one of each in your bag. But you've been doing it so long, that's all you have is dark colors and light colors.
I want blue.
Your brothers had blue. Your brothers had red. Your little brothers had red and black.
Didn't you try and get Kid too when he had red to beat the garden tomatoes?
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I thought it was tomatoes.
Well, the Killer Tomatoes was another option, but the Red Hot Chili Peppers is way more fun for those little guys.
Isn't that a band?
It is. and Attack of the Killer Tomatoes is a movie.
It is.
It is. Cheesy horror movie that you can't see yet.
When kid number 3 turns 13, let him watch that. He'll love it.
He will. He will. All right. Any final? How about this? Any advice for your little sister who's getting ready to start her own little hockey journey very soon with Learn to Skate?
Hey, it doesn't matter if you don't score. Just try your best and have fun. And if you do score, you can do a little celebration and then go play.
I'm so gonna kill those zombies in the water.
What are you playing? Are you playing Plants vs. Zombies?
No, she's in Minecraft and she's in a little coral reef and there's like drowned zombies in the water and they're trying to kill all the baby turtles and she says, "I'm not going to let them kill the baby turtles. The baby turtles must live."
Okay, that works. All right. Well, let's take a break and I'm going to come back with your brother.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Now up, it is Kid 2. How's it going, Kid 2?
Good.
Remember, we call you Kid 2 on this.
Okay.
Okay. What are you wearing?
A Blues hockey jersey.
And why, with us living close to Chicago and not too far from Detroit, are you wearing a St. Louis Blues jersey?
Because they're a very good team.
Are they your favorite team?
Yeah.
How long have you been a Blues fan?
8 years.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you got your Blues jersey. I've got my Blackhawks jersey. We'll have a little bit of a rivalry going with our jerseys, but we'll have a nice little conversation about hockey, okay?
Okay.
How many years have you played hockey?
6.
6? You sure?
I don't know how many years.
Well, let's talk about let's go backwards in counting the winners. So, this most recent winter, what team were you on?
The Blue Wolves.
The Blue Wolves. All right. In the winter before that?
White Wolves, the worst.
Why were they the worst? You just didn't like the white jerseys?
Yeah.
They were kind of plain?
Yep.
They were too bad. You guys had like blue shoulders and then mostly white with like some stripes. And yeah. How was the logo, though? That wasn't the worst, right?
It wasn't the worst after all.
Was it cool or not?
It was cool.
Okay. But the white was kind of plain?
Yep.
Okay. So you were the Blue Wolves recently. Before that, you were the White Wolves. Both of those were as a squirt, a U10. Mm-hmm. Before that, you were
Red Bulls.
The Red Bulls and that was as a mite.
And I don't like to drink this.
What was the one before that?
The stupidest one. The gray one. The one with no colors and sadness.
Yeah. The Gray Thunder was also a mite U8 team. And then what were you before that?
I don't know.
Back when you were number 39. You were the all-black team. You didn't even have a name. That was when we were at that rink that doesn't have all the walls. Yep. So that's 5 years of hockey. Mm-hmm. And because you started like after your sister played her first year, we asked if you wanted to play, and you're like, no, you weren't too sure about it. So she did winter hockey. She loved it. She went to spring hockey, and you jumped into spring hockey then. You guys did skating lessons through the summer. You did fall hockey, and then you just have continued to go like that.
Yep.
This whole time. When we first started this whole hockey journey with your sister getting into hockey, you weren't too sure about it. You didn't want to go out there and learn to play with her at the same time because you were old enough. Mm-hmm. What made you change your mind? Do you remember, or was that just so long ago?
So long ago.
Like half your life?
That I can't, it's half my life that I can't even remember.
What was the most recent half?
Yep. Mm-hmm. I think my mind attracted because I most never get to see my sister at home.
Because she was always at hockey?
Mm-hmm.
She only had hockey twice a week, bud, when she started.
Okay.
But she was having fun, wasn't she?
Yep.
Yep, and now your little brother plays too?
Mm-hmm.
And your little sister wants to start?
Yes, if she's old enough.
Oh, well, she's old enough. Maybe we might put her in learn to skate. We'll see how. I'm trying to see what she does, just trying to stand on the skates on carpet first before we put on something slippery.
And tolerate wearing a helmet and tolerate wearing skates. You know what tolerate means, right?
Nope.
Put up with.
Okay.
Yeah. How many of your friends play hockey? A lot or a few?
Here now.
Few now. Was it a lot before?
Yeah.
Or was it a few but way back when too?
A few, but way back when.
What do most kids around here do that you go to school with?
They talk about hockey and they seem to notice me.
No, I mean, what do they do for sports? What are the major sports around here that are the kids you go to school with?
Hockey, basketball, soccer, hockey, and then there's very dumb sports. Basketball, soccer, pinball, and
Pinball is a sport?
that's something that popped in my head.
Okay. Well, in your class right now, in your fourth grade class, how many kids in that classroom play hockey?
1.
I don't believe that for a second. You play,
Yep.
and yeah, he plays. So that's 2 kids out of your class. Did the other kids in there do sports?
Yeah, but not hockey.
Okay, so what sports do they do, or you don't know?
I have no idea.
Because it's a new school.
Mm-hmm.
What about your last school? When you were at the other school in 3rd grade, out of both 3rd grade classrooms, how many kids played hockey? You?
2. Me and
Okay, so 2 of you. What did all the other kids play?
most of the boys recently played basketball.
Yeah?
Yep.
How do you feel about basketball?
I don't even like it because dribbling on the floor is driving me nuts.
Why is it driving you nuts? Just the sound?
Yeah.
The thump, thump, thump,
And
thump.
it's easy for someone to steal the ball. The basketball.
Oh, because you're not holding it?
Yep.
What else do they play besides basketball?
Soccer.
Yeah, how do you feel about soccer?
It's good, all right. Better than basketball. Only it's easier to shoot in the nets.
Because it's a giant net,
Mm-hmm.
not a little one like hockey.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else that they played?
I don't know.
Okay. Which one out of all those? I think we're kind of getting your feeling on it. But which of those is the best of those sports in your opinion?
Hockey.
Yeah, why is that? What's so awesome about hockey?
Is that you get to skate around and it's easier to push faster, and I think it's more recently that it's fun to knock down people.
You are getting into that body contact thing, which is like, to be honest, I didn't think you were going to get into the body contact thing because you, out of our 4 kids, are the gentlest kid. You got the kindest heart, and you tend to avoid conflict. Whereas your little brother is kind of like a little wrecking ball. He comes in, and he's a little bit like a pit bull. He's like low to the ground, doesn't mind knocking things over and knocking people over, and he's just a bruiser. Whereas you are kind of finesse. And like, to give it a hockey analogy, you're kind of like the Wayne Gretzky. You'll just skate around people versus trying to go through them, whereas your brother usually would just try to go through them. Your little sister will definitely be that style. But when we started doing body contact drills this year, you really got into it. Does it hurt?
It doesn't.
Is it fun?
Yes.
Were you good at it?
Yes.
Yeah. Saw you it started carrying over into some of the other games. Is that something you look forward to because now you're moving up to U12, which is Pee-wees. You'll be back with your sister in the same level for a year.
Yay! Dozens of goals on her.
You do like scoring goals on your sister, don't you?
Yes.
More than any other goalie?
Mm-hmm.
I do like you've developed your own your celebration maneuver you do now. How do you describe that?
Well, that's for the excitement because usually just likes to mess around with my helmet and then said, by the way, no goals. And I said, we'll see about that.
Right. But when you do score, you've got this maneuver you do. Because everyone's got their different ones. Like, there's various kids we play with. Some do the long stride, like they're shooting a bow and arrow or all sorts of stuff. What do you do when you score? What does it look like? If someone you were to describe it, well, they can't see what you're doing right now. So what are you doing with your hand?
I hold it up and then turn it into a fist and then pull it down.
Yeah. It's fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have fun this last year of hockey?
Not really.
Why not?
I didn't usually pull my body weights, and To be honest, the only thing that was the funnest thing was winning center of the eye contact of the puck when the referee drops it.
Oh, you do like playing center?
Mm-hmm.
What was your best memory out of this season?
That we won the Squirt Cup championship.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed. Finally got one of the players that's a hard hit like, and I actually got to hammer them in.
You know it's no checking at U10, right?
Yep.
But you're just happy you crashed into them?
Yep.
Okay, dude. All time. So I guess you're 10. You've been doing hockey for 5 years, so half your life. What is your number one? And it's not just playing hockey. It could be playing hockey. It could be when we've gone to hockey games because you've been to various hockey games. What's your number one hockey memory?
When the Blues won the Stanley Cup.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Mm-hmm. Now, this last year we didn't get to go to any college or NHL or minor league games, but when we do those, what have been your favorites to go to?
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. Why is that?
I think it was fun because watching them at a real hockey game and getting some food to eat during it.
You do eat your fair share of food when we go to those. What's your favorite food at Compton Family Ice Arena, the Notre Dame's ice rink?
The desserts and the pretzel and the hot dogs.
Which desserts do you like the best?
I don't know any of the desserts.
M&M's, Sour Patch Kids, or
Sour
things
Patch Kids and peanut M&Ms.
What are some of the other foods you like? You said soft pretzel, right?
Yeah.
So they have Ben's soft pretzel there.
Hot dogs.
Yeah.
Do they sell chicken tenders there?
They do.
Yes. Ooh-hoo-hoo. Maybe
you and I actually even went to the outdoor game where they played the University of Michigan in Notre Dame Stadium.
Ooh. And
it was pretty warm that day, too, for being January 2nd or whatever it was, January 3rd.
Okay. Oh, by the way, other than that, I do enjoy watching professional hockeys on TV.
You do. I think you get into it more than your siblings even.
Yep.
What is your least favorite memory out of a hockey memory out from over the years?
I think with on the white back on the white team, everyone drove me nuts.
Why do they drive you nuts?
They're giving me some hideous reminders that kind of just got onto me.
What were the hideous reminders?
It was something about the focus on the game.
Why is that a hideous reminder? That's a good teammate thing trying to get you to... Were they being mean about it, or were they just saying, hey, get focused?
I am focused, but it just got into my nerves that I burst out there.
You burst out what? Like burst out skating? Burst out crying? Burst out what?
I burst out yelling.
Oh. Did they think you were not focused?
But I think they didn't, but I think they totally did. But I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, that's in the past. That is a little bit frustrating. But that was on the White Wolves. We had a good year on the Blue Wolves.
Yes.
Do you like it when I help coach?
Yes.
And next year, I don't know what color Wolves will be.
Okay. Or it might be the return of the Bulls.
Could be a return of the Bulls. Did you like the Bulls?
Yep.
What if we were the Garden Gnomes? Okay, they can't see the face you just made where you rolled over and looked like you're dead with your tongue out of your mouth. Mm-hmm. How do you feel? Tell me. Use your words. Tell me, how would you feel about being the Garden Gnomes?
I feel like an idiot.
Why? What if it was a cool little gnome, like a little tough little hockey player with muscles and everything and a big beard and a pointy hockey helmet?
That just looks like a cone head.
Well, what if you could really tell like I had the lines like a hockey helmet has?
Then it looked better, sort of.
What else could you... What if you're the Garden Chili Peppers or the Garden Killer Tomatoes?
Okay.
The Killer Tomatoes is much cooler than being the Garden Gnomes?
Yep.
All right, how about just the Garden Wolves then?
That would be good.
What do you feel is the biggest challenge you have when playing hockey?
Wearing the mask.
Your face mask or the COVID style mask?
The COVID mask thing.
Now, when you skate, because there's a lot of different hockey mask type things for COVID, describe for the audience, what do you wear? Because your brother got on and talked about how he was wearing, he has a cage that goes over his face, a wire cage, and he was wearing an Under Armour mask, and then he switched to one that velcros into the wire cage and stays put. What do you wear? Because you don't have the same setup as him.
I wear the thing where you like have the exact same helmet shield thing that has. And
Well, they don't know who is.
well, I think it was one.
You've got the same model helmet as your brother and your sister when your sister skates out.
only it's kind of glass part.
That's right. You got the plexi. They call it the bubble. You got a big plexiglass shield over your face. You don't have a wire cage. Why did we switch to that for you?
One, it quiet things down and and I wasn't distracted by the bars. What were the bars anyways?
The bars on the cage, you got to get used to looking past them, but it's easier because now you don't have bars. You just have a clear plastic window, and it does deaden the sound a little bit. Are all the other noises and distractions difficult when you play hockey?
Yes. Feels like I'm what?
Talking to the mic.
It feels like I'm wearing a headphone where listening to music and the music part of the sound effects is right in my ear.
Oh, when you don't like with the old setup because it was just letting in so much extra noise, it made it hard to concentrate.
Yes.
So the new face mask and everything helps kind of muffle all that. Do you have any trouble hearing the coaches
Nope.
or the referee whistles?
Nope.
Okay. So that's your standard setup, and we'll talk about that more in a little bit. For COVID, I mean, that thing's got air holes in the bottom, which doesn't fly. So what did you have to do during this whole COVID season we just had?
I had to wear an extra mask, which is pretty weird because I have one guarding my face.
You do, and they did make a piece. You could have gotten another plastic piece that went and plugged all the holes in the bottom. We didn't go that route. You just wore an Under Armour mask and then had your helmet and your plastic face shield come down, or plexiglass face shield come down. But that was a lot of stuff. Was it hard breathing skating up and down the ice with that mask on?
Yeah, well, it smelled like dirt and someone's eyes. And
Dude, that probably just means you had to brush your teeth.
No, it was the mask.
Your sister tried to tell me that the mask smelled like Cheez-Its. I'm like, and what did you have for snack before practice? She's like, oh. Your little brother tried to tell me it smelled like this smells awesome. It smells like Oreos. I'm like, and what did you have for snack?
I didn't have anything for snack.
Well,
And I did brush my teeth perfectly well.
did you put it on like without washing it from the? Did it not go through the wash between hockey practices?
Yes.
Oh well, then it was just sweaty, stinky squirt.
Well,
Did you ever have any games though where you're just like, I can't breathe, this thing's on, or you're like, it was uncomfortable, but you made it?
that was like some games when COVID started because it was very hard to get my straw into the water thing.
Well, oh, that's right. We had to change water bottles. First, we had the Gatorade style water bottle. You just pick it up and like with me, and I still use them. I put it right up against my cage, squeeze it, and then it shoots it into my mouth.
That kind of feels like being squirted by a mustard bottle or ketchup.
The hard part is you already have a shield that comes down, so that you don't have bars right in front of your mouth, and then you got a mask over it. So we went and switched over to ones with straws for you guys, so you could kind of fish it in through the holes and then squeeze it in past your mask and go that route.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was pretty easier because I didn't have to get squirted in by the water because it feels like I'm being squirted by ketchup and mustard bottles.
Well,
Pretty crazy, huh?
It is a little bit crazy, and that's kind of what's going on, only with better flavor.
And but mustard and ketchup taste horrible to me.
No, you're not a big fan of the condiments, are you?
I'm not.
You're not.
I usually eat everything plain.
What's your biggest worry when we play hockey?
Being knocked over, that was back in the past.
It is back in the past. You haven't gotten knocked over in a long time. You're a good little skater.
Except for when he was around.
And well, he wasn't around this season, so we won't worry about him. What do you think the biggest challenge is, though, in terms of developing as a hockey player for next season?
There are a bunch of tall kids out there.
Well, they're not that tall though, because they're going to be the kids who are in your sister's age group.
Mm-hmm.
They're just a year older than you. And actually, they're not, that group is kind of short for their age too. So you're going to be just as tall as the other kids, unless they have a massive growth spurt in the next year, which is possible. But I think you're going to fit right in terms of height.
Wow.
Yeah. What's the number one skill, though, you want to develop in the next year? Or do you think you need to work on the most in the next year?
Body weight.
Body weight? Body weight's not a skill, though. Why? Are you looking to put on some muscle?
Yep.
You know, I'm really cautious about having you guys do weights. Every so often, I'll let you break out the little 2-pound dumbbells and do some things, but you're still growing, and I don't want you doing too much with weights yet. We'll just work on some strength and core exercises and stretching and things like that. Once you're done growing or you hit a certain point, then maybe we'll do some weights. In terms of skills, we're talking like being able to lift the puck or shooting more accurately or shooting harder.
Well, it's going to have to depend on lifting the puck.
Why would it depend on lifting the puck? Is that something you want to work on? Or shooting it harder and just keeping it low? Or more accurate so you always hit the target? Or passing? Or skating skills? Or what do you feel you need to work on the most?
Passing with someone that's not that good at passing.
Why? Do you think some of the other kids aren't good at passing?
Yep.
Or are you picking on me because we started every practice with you and me passing?
No, I was choosing about not you, but I think one of the kids aren't that good at passing.
One or several?
I think several.
Well, hopefully it'll be better because you had a lot of kids coming up who were first-year squirts, and so they can stay and keep on working on their passing, and you'll be moving up with kind of the usual group. And I really like how Coach Dan has done a good job in keeping that core group together. So like you and you know, when you guys were the Gray Thunder and the Red Bulls and the White Wolves, and you guys, about half the team every season are the same kids. So you guys have really developed friendships. That's actually helped when you change schools, right? The first day where you guys were all together, because you started kind of split up, who did you recognize in your classroom? Yeah, and where did you know him from?
Hockey?
Yeah. That's right. He was on the White Wolves with you.
Yep.
Yeah. And so that helped with hockey, helping you get friends. That helped actually with Kid 2. He showed up, or not Kid 2, you're Kid 2.
3.
Kid 3, he walked in and there's 4 kids in his classroom that he plays hockey with. And the teacher's like, how do you know everybody? You're the new kid. And at first, actually, the class was split in half by the alphabet. Most of the kids are in the upper part of the alphabet. So he's in there. There's 3 of them. There's only 7 kids in the classroom. 3 of them all played hockey together.
And especially...
Yeah, he was one of them.
One of the 3.
But let's get back to the skills. So you want to lift the puck. Is that the number one skill you want to work on? Is it shooting accurately? Is it skating? What? Because I'm not talking about other kids working on passing.
I'm lifting the puck in the air.
Okay.
No matter how much hard weight I put it, I always ended up shooting it on the ground.
You know, that's something we can work on because we have a full-size net with rebound netting around it. We can work on in the garage, and we got shooting pads, and the sticks are out there. So that's something we can work on. Mm-hmm. Sound good?
Yes.
All right. Now I want to shift gears a little bit, and you and I and Mom and you and your mother and I and you, we've talked about autism before, haven't we? We've had a few chats about that. Yep. And you are diagnosed as on the autism spectrum, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and it creates challenges sometimes, right?
Yes.
And you're diagnosed as ADHD.
Yes.
All that put together, what kind of challenges does that present when you're trying to play hockey? Are there any, do you think, or not?
I don't know. Well, it's hard to concentrate. Make it hard to concentrate. I have to work harder than other people to focus.
Yeah, that's true. But you make it work, right?
Yes.
What was it like early on? Let's talk about like when you were first a mite, when you were on the Gray Thunder.
Probably kind of.
Well, how did those games go?
We actually almost barely won any.
Yeah, but how about your gameplay? Was it different than everybody else?
It was actually sort of kind of weak.
Weak how? How?
I haven't been scoring anything.
Yeah. Well, how about my observations as dad? You would go out there and you would play good for about 10 minutes. And then you'd lose attention. And even the other parents were like, well, he's on autopilot. And you would just skate these beautiful big circles around the half ice that we were using, staring at the ceiling.
True.
And not be paying attention to the game, right?
Yes.
How did... And it's gotten better because then your second year in the Red Bulls, you were able to pay attention more, right?
Go after the puck and shoot more goals.
Yep. And it was around that time, too, where you started taking your medicine, too, to the end of that season. There was a noticeable difference when you were a white wolf. And that's when you also went with... It got more complicated, didn't it?
Yes.
Because what happened when you were a white wolf versus when you were on the gray team or the red team? That would made
I
hockey...
played full ice.
You played full ice. And what else? What comes with full ice?
Icings and offsides and penalties.
Yeah, all the rules came with it. It got more confusing, and there was actually real positions, right?
Yes.
It wasn't just like 3 or 4 kids going wherever and chasing the puck. Now you had to. What are the positions in hockey?
Center, left wing, right wing, defense, and left defense, and right defense.
Oh, there's one more you're forgetting.
Goalie.
Yeah.
Which actually was in mites and score. Was in the mites.
Mites were too. I don't think you've ever been goalie as a squirt, but you were a goalie as a mite. How did that go?
It went great in the second year.
How'd it go in the first year? Because I'm laughing because I remember it and it was kind of funny.
I just blocked one shot with the stick and then everything just started scoring on me.
Well, that was the second year. The first year...
That was the first year.
Well, the first year you were in there as a goalie, and I'm like, oh, Lord. Because I knew you were having trouble paying attention for very long. And so you went in, and you're standing there, and you're staring off into the rafters.
Yes.
And got like your head turned. You're not even looking at the shooter, and they're coming in. But because they were 8 and under shooters, they'd shoot, and it kept bouncing off your legs. And at one point, I'm like thinking to myself, and I know I was jinxing it by thinking, like, dear Lord, this kid's going to get a shutout. He's not even paying attention. He's not even looking at the shooters. The pucks are just bouncing off of him. And one did finally go in, but you were on the little tiny nets, right?
Yeah.
Actually, you had some in the intermediate nets. And then you played another game the following year, and they really lit you up, didn't they? They scored a bunch of goals.
Back in year 2, I was able to block lots of goals because, especially one of the kids on the other team came up to me real close, and I just grabbed the puck with my glove catcher. And even when I missed, one of the kids said he said bad goal, and then someone yelled his name. Coach Dan yelled and then one of the coaches yelled his name.
I know which kid you're talking about. Yeah, some kids have to learn sportsmanship. That is part of the lessons in sports and learning, and it carries over to life.
True.
You know, over the years, though, and you've gotten better, and this year, by far, I saw so much growth out of you. It was your best year ever. And you've come a long way, especially when it comes to paying attention. If you think way back to that Gray Wolves team where you think about it, as a teammate, you were kind of useful for about 10 minutes.
And
then you just went on to autopilot. Did any of your teammates ever give you a hard time? They usually...
No,
or were they just like, oh, that's...
I think that was me. Except in the practice part of being goalie, and one of the hockey player friends were like goofing around in front of me.
Well, yeah, they do that. That's part of playing fun. But did anyone ever give you a hard time or try to bully you out of playing hockey back on that gray team?
Nope.
How about on the red team? Did any of them ever give you any of those players give you a hard time?
Nope.
No, they were. In fact, I got some cute pictures where they were putting arms around you and hugging you. On the white team, any teammates on that team give you a hard time?
Definitely. He's always giving me a hard time, and
doesn't talk. When does he give you a hard time?
Crazy reminders while I'm in position.
He's trying to help you. Is it all right? When you're on the white team, any of the teammates try to like tell you not to play or anything,
I don't.
or do they give you reminders to pay attention or get to position?
Reminders to pay me attention, but usually I don't. If it's more than one time, I usually start to get so. It starts to drive me crazy.
No. The nice part is when you play center, the center's kind of a rover. They go all over, right?
Yep.
I was amazed when you were on that white team how often you won face-offs.
15 times in a row.
You did have that one game where you did win 15 in a row. That was impressive.
Right wing 15 times in a row.
No, you don't take face-offs when you're right wing unless your center gets tossed.
Yep, that's true.
That's true. How all right, we're going along this line of questioning though with the Blue Wolves this last year. Did anyone pick on you because you have a harder time paying attention? Do you think any of the kids even noticed?
Was one I was playing defense, I was doing the defense thing. He said that I wasn't doing anything. And I was actually guarding two of the goal lines, and he was just like skating up.
Don't get too worked up about him because he wanted to argue with everybody on the team and the coaches. How about the rest of the team? We had a really big team. That's one kid who was argumentative with everybody all season. What about the rest of the team or the core guys that are always around you?
Nope, not many.
Not many. When you make a good play, how often do the kids come and tell you good job?
I think like whoever's on the bench and how many.
Does it happen often or not often?
I don't know. Because I haven't got many goals during the games.
Well, it's not just goals. Let's say you block a shot, you steal a puck, you battle hard for the puck. Do your teammates notice?
Yeah, except for the knocking down thing.
What, you knocking other people down or not other people knocking you down?
Knocking other people down, because I think they haven't seen that for like few hockey seasons.
Dude, you only knocked a couple people down, and it's not checking yet. So sometimes it's hard to tell whether you knocked them down or they just fell. You know because you're out there. Mm-hmm. But they're not always watching for it. It's not like you're laying big giant hits on the boards which rattled the glass.
It was fun annoying those little kids putting my body on them.
When you walk into the rink, do you feel like it's almost like a home away from home?
Home away from...
Do you feel comfortable at the rink?
Yes.
Do you feel like people are nice to you at the rink?
Yes. Unless if it's someone that likes to pick a fight with me.
Who likes to pick fights with you? When you walk into the rink, do you walk in and no one notices, or does everyone say, hi, hi, hi? Do you get highs all the way, or is it just like quietly you sneak in and no one says anything?
I think I've seen one of the kids just like, hey, hi, what's up? And that's, I think...
That's it? I think you're full of it, because every coach, every adult, all the parents turn and say hi to you and every time you walk in. There's an old TV show called Cheers where there's this guy walked in and everyone went, Norm, when he walked in. And that's what it feels like when you walk into the rink. Everybody says hi.
Yep.
Remember? Because who always would say hi to you and you would run away and laugh? On the way to the locker room. Like every time we went to that, Coach AJ would always go, hi, Lucky. And you're like, just start laughing and run.
Well, now I don't do that this year.
What do you like more, the actual games or the drills?
Yeah. I think that's pretty hard to tell. Both.
You used to say overwhelmingly the drills because they were short and they were focused. You're like, hey, they're fun. They don't last long. It's interesting to me now that we've gotten, as you're getting better. You're getting older. You're getting better at concentrating. You're getting better at controlling yourself. And now the games are getting to be more fun too. Because we also had to talk about how not just staying back and watching everybody else play, get in there, battle for that puck, get a little body contact. And suddenly now you put that on equal footing with the skills, which I find that fascinating. This season we had a few parent-kid games that we did. And you actually came to some skates with some of the beginner adult hockey players. What was it like being by far the shortest skater out on the ice?
when we were out there with all the adults? Do you remember? This was back before Christmas.
I think I was very short out there.
But you were also one of the fastest skaters out there.
Yep. Compared to like some of the adults, and I know because I'm a fast skater. Now I'm a fast skater.
Pretty good at crossovers. You're better at crossovers than me.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure, buddy. You look pretty effortless when you move.
Okay.
How about this? If there was somebody else out there who also was diagnosed as being on the autism spectrum and was working through having ADHD, do you think hockey would be a good sport for them?
Yeah.
That they can get into it?
Yes.
Do you feel the overall? I mean, there's always some kids can be a jerk, but overall, do you feel like the overall hockey community is pretty welcoming?
Yes.
That's a strong yes.
Yes. That's a very extremely highly strong yes.
Okay. Going forward, what's your outlook on hockey? What are your goals on hockey? Like, as a grown-up, do you see yourself playing in the NHL or playing in the adult leagues like I play in adult leagues?
Adult leagues.
Playing in adult leagues. Do you see yourself playing in college, either like Notre Dame players or playing more like kind of like the adult leagues only with college kids? Like I played intramural. They call it intramural. It's almost like it's like garden league like you do now. And you just play amongst a bunch of other kids who are students versus Notre Dame. It's almost like mini version of professional, right?
Yeah.
You see yourself playing with just some of the guys and girls who are going to school?
Yes.
What about high school?
Well, I'm not sure if I'm going to be used to high school.
Are you going to play high school hockey or not?
I don't
Or you
know.
just play fun games like on the weekend and stuff?
Yes. Well, and then
Talk into the mic.
And then I'll try to save time for hockey.
Okay, so you are going to try to play hockey in high school?
Yeah.
See how it goes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And next year, I know you already said you want to work on lifting the puck, but what do you see as the outlook next year? Your first year of Pee-wees, your sister's going to be one of the goalies, a bunch of your buddies are coming up, and teammates from the Blue Wolves will be coming up. Not a lot, but you'll be joining people you know. A bunch of the guys you knew that went up with Kid One when she graduated up to Pee-wees. They're going to still be there. They'll be second years.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And all that crew.
And even kid number 1.
And kid number 1, of course. And
yes.
You know all them. They'll be there, and will be coming up, and will be coming up, and it's gonna be a pretty fun group. What do you think you guys are gonna win some games, or you're gonna have fun at least, or what do you foresee for next year?
I think we might win some more games this season.
Are you gonna have fun?
Yes.
Because that's a pretty fun year. Oh, and be there, Coach Mike with the Beards kid.
Oh yes.
He's fun. So you excited about next winter?
Yes.
Okay. If you got to pick what color, because let me see, you've been black, you've been gray, you've been red, you've been white, you've been blue. What color would you want for next year?
Green?
Green. Interesting.
I was not gonna choose.
Like a standard Crayola box of 8 crayon green, or a dark forest green, or a bright neon green like the Dallas Stars just came out with. They have black jerseys with neon green piping on it and everything, stripes.
I would just say forest green.
Forest green, so a darker green.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. As we're wrapping this up, you've got 2 younger siblings who play hockey. Your brother is going to be going into his 3rd year of mites next winter. And you got a little sister who's getting ready to skate. What advice do you have for them as they start moving up through hockey?
Is that if it's for kid number 3? I mean kid number 3.
If you say his name, I can edit it out.
He would be easy. I would try to teach him how to lift someone stick and steal the puck. It would totally drive them crazy because usually, most of the time I always get my stick lifted into the air, but then I slam it down.
Okay. And what advice would you give to your baby sister?
That to try to push the like how normal skates do and little skaters do, and then
Push her legs, push her feet.
And if she struggles with it, I would hold her hand.
If she's having a hard time, because when you start it, and even you, like, it's hard. You got to work muscles you don't use. You got to move your legs differently, and a lot of people want to give up when they first start trying to skate. What would you tell her?
Don't give up. I'll help you, and I'll show you how to do it.
Aw. Do you think she's gonna have fun?
Yeah.
Do you have fun?
Yes.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you for chatting with me.
You're welcome.
Last but not least, Marco.
Yes.
What do you like about hockey?
I love it.
But why do you love it?
It's the best sport.
What about it lights you up?
I've played team sports. I've played individual sports. It's the only team sport I truly enjoy. I played basketball growing up. I played football in high school. I've played on volleyball teams. I played tandem, badminton even. Badminton, racquetball. I played softball. I didn't actually play baseball growing up. I played softball even in college. The only team sport I really enjoyed was hockey. Aside from that, I did track, cross country, wrestling, and yes, all of those have team components, but at the end of the day, like what you contributed. There's no hiding.
Yeah.
In hockey, there's not a lot of places to hide. There is some, but I just really enjoy the sport. And in terms of, especially now later in life, now in my 40s, and even in my late 30s, the cardio aspect of it, it's a great workout. It's fun. I just really love the sport.
Cool.
It's constant motion. It's constant activity. It's not like football where it's line up and let's do like 9 seconds of activity, and then we'll stand around and line up again and have 9 seconds
it's like
of activity.
swim lessons. We'll show you what we're going to do. You hang on to the wall, kids. And when it's your turn, you actually get to do it.
Yeah. Whereas hockey, it's like go, 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 go. The whole time it's this constant motion. And yeah, we occasionally have stoppages in play and we have to do another face-off, but it's not like football where you do that. And it's not like baseball where it's like, well, let's stand around and stare at each other and then maybe I'll throw a pitch. Like, you got to keep going. And it's not like basketball where only the last like 90 seconds of the game even matter.
Basketball's the worst.
It's the worst, especially the way they're running the rules right now with 10 bazillion timeouts.
No, I'm not paying attention to any of that.
No.
My bracket got busted. It's very sad.
Well, we do the bracket thing, but we don't actually watch the games.
We do not.
No. And soccer is boring as hell because it's like I don't want to watch a 1-0 game all the time.
No. What is your favorite position to play when you are playing hockey?
It depends what league I'm in. Most often it is forward, winger, usually right winger, but I've played right wing, left wing, center, defense, just everything but goalie. And
Okay.
I've taken on an appreciation for goalie, though, because we've got a goalie as a kid and watching her. And then also because we had a kind of a lack in goalie coaching, like for the Mites, a lot of times I like found myself coaching up the Mite goalies because we didn't have our usual goalie coaches there.
What drew you to want to be the commissioner of the entire league? I am genuinely curious about this because you came home and you're like, I'm the commissioner. I was like, what the hell just happened?
It's similar to when I became a captain down at Notre Dame and when I became a captain up here at the Garden. It came down to, and it's with me, if you want something done right, you're going to do it yourself. I want a well-run league. I want a well-run team. And if I want that done right, I'm going to do it myself.
Okay.
And so that's what I like, and make sure it's fair and it's being done properly. I ran teams down at Notre Dame. I provided the various commissioners down there with all the inputs to make sure the drafts were run right and try to do as much as I could to contribute down there. And then up here, when it stood up, I was one of the captains to make sure I had a well-run team, but also just kind of took a leadership role in managing the leagues. And after years of doing that and supporting the commissioner, which was a Reed-Coner, his wife basically said, just hand it off to Marco because he's doing everything and you're basically just rubber stamping stuff and you got other things to do. And so that's kind of the genesis of all that. But it really came down to, I want this done right. And I want a fun league for everyone to play in. And while you can't make everybody happy all the time, most of the players are happy most of the time.
Yay, good.
And
happy players make better
it is fun where I get people going, I don't read your emails. Your emails are stupid. Great. There's like 3 of you and the rest of the league are that's the most frequent piece of feedback I get is we love your weekly emails.
Awesome. You put jokes in there. It's fun.
Oh, it's like inside jokes and it's ripping on people and it's hilarious.
Good.
And it's full sarcasm and yeah.
What drew you to want to be a coach for little kids with hockey?
The drive to be a teacher, to share knowledge. Same thing where I was a Taekwondo instructor, when I was a psychology professor, when I was a track coach, cross-country coach, and now it's our kids. And it's like, look, I'm not the world's best player by any means. I don't have the skills, but I know where you should be. I know how to run this, and we can do this. We can grow this. We can get you excited about it, and we can get organized. And I'm a super organized person, and yeah, we'll make it happen.
Cool.
And hopefully the better for it. Not everybody latches onto my style of coaching and my personality type, but the majority do, and especially the kind of kids that are playing with our kids for the most part do.
Good. Okay, so long story short, what is your recommendation with regards to hockey?
Hockey is awesome. If you can skate, learn to play. If you can play, go play. If you want to get into it, hockey is for everybody, all shapes, sizes, ability levels. It's never too late to join. There are adult learn to play
I completely
leagues.
agree with that.
Jump in, learn to play, do it. Even if you're only doing the skills and drills part, it's like I refer to it a lot of times, it's Canadian yoga. Go do it. It's so much fun. And even if you don't progress up to the leagues, that's fine. I mean, I like doing the skills and drills parts. A lot of times I call it with AJ's boot camps when Coach AJ's running them. Makes us work so hard. I love those. But then it's also, the leagues are great. The camaraderie amongst the players of both genders, it's open to everybody. And at the youth levels, same thing. And one thing I want to do is also just grow girls hockey, not just because we have girls, but because, again, hockey really is for everybody, and it really should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except not for me, because I don't love it enough to actually play it.
I'm going to get you into this someday. I'll wear you down.
No.
Look, we've only been a couple for like 20-some years. I got time. Till death do we part, sweetie.
Okay.
I'm going to keep working on you.
Don't bet the farm on it, okay?
Oh, moving on, though. Before we go, we need to give a shout out to the most recent set of Red Arrow Challenge champions. The Red Arrow Challenge is our multi-sport competition, virtual competition like no other. We've got so many categories. You can compete in any of those categories or the composite points. And every week we give a shout out to the most recent set of champions in each age group in each category. And because we took a week off from podcasting because things were so busy, we have 2 weeks to cover. So for the week that was March 15th through March 21st of 2021, the champions are...
Swimming.
Nobody in any category.
Running.
9 and under, Yellow Ninja. 10 to 19, Lucky Dude. 20 to 29, Husky Mike. 30 to 39, The Logan. 40 to 49, Coach T. 50 to 59, Johnny Be Good. Nobody older than that. And for our featured members, me.
Walking.
9 and under, Easy E, 10 to 19, Lucky Dude, 20 to 29, Smytha, 30 to 39, SB, Nikki, 40 to 49, Vino Mia, 50 to 59, AR Miller, 60 to 69, Sunny D, nobody older than that, featured members, me.
Biking on road.
20 to 29, H Gainer 305, 30 to 39, Cyclopath, 40 to 49, Cyclone, 50 to 59, nobody, 60 to 69, Kilogram Ill, nobody older than that, featured members, me.
Biking off road.
20 to 29, Husky Mike, 30 to 39, Dirt Devil, 40 to 49, Cyclone, nobody older than that,
Sit down paddling.
30 to 39, Rando 7, nobody in any of the other age groups.
Stand up paddling.
20 to 29, Gator Boy, 30 to 39, Me West, 40 to 49, Coffee Dude, 50 to 59, Mary Mary, 60 to 69, Sunny D, nobody older than that.
Cross country skiing.
30 to 39, Alberto, 40 to 49, El Tiburon 95, 50 to 59, Big Juan 64, 60 to 69, nobody, and nobody older than that, and no featured members.
Skating.
20 to 29, Gator Boy, 30 to 39, Benny, 40 to 49, Coach T, 50 to 59, G Smith, 60 to 69, Pac Mac, featured members, me.
Hockey.
9 and under, Yellow Ninja, 10 to 19, Lucky Dude, 20 to 29, Husky Mike, 30 to 39, Moose Man, 40 to 49, Coach T, 50 to 59, Herb, 60 to 69, MRH, 313, and featured members, me.
Point.
9 and under, Yellow Ninja, 10 to 19, Lucky Dude, 20 to 29, Husky Mike, 30 to 39, The Logan, 40 to 49, Coach T, 50 to 59, Herb, 60 to 69, Sunny D, featured members, me. And then now for the most recent week, which would be March 22nd through March 28th.
Swim.
9 and under, nobody. 10 to 19, nobody. 20 to 29, Gator Boy. 30 to 39, nobody. 40 to 49, nobody. 50 to 59, nobody. 60 to 69, Kilogram Ill was our champion.
Run.
9 and under, Easy E. 10 to 19, Lucky Dude. 20 to 29, H Caner 305. 30 to 39, The Logan. 40 to 49, Sarah 906. 50 to 59, Johnny B. Good. 60 to 69, Pac Mac. And featured members, me.
Walk.
9 and under, Yellow Ninja. 10 to 19, Lucky Dude. 20 to 29, Smytha. 30 to 39, Wildcat with a K. 40 to 49, Vino Mia. 50 to 59, Teddy 68. 60 to 69, Sunny D. And featured members, me.
Biking on road.
None of the kiddos yet, but 20 to 29, H. Caner 305. 30 to 39, Cyclopath. 40 to 49, Cyclone. 50 to 59, A.R. Miller. 60 to 69, Kilogram Mill. And featured members, nobody, because I didn't get on my trainer.
Biking off-road.
20 to 29, H. Caner 305. 30 to 39, Dirt Devil.
Sit down paddling.
20 to 29, H. Caner 305. 30 to 39, Rando 7.
Stand up paddling.
20 to 29, Gator Boy. 30 to 39, Me West. 40 to 49, Coffee Dude. 50 to 59, Mary Mary. 60 to 69, Sunny D.
Cross country skiing.
30 to 39, Alberto. 40 to 49, El Tiburon 95. 50 to 59, Big Juan 64.
Skating.
30 to 39, Benny. 40 to 49, Great Juan. 50 to 59, Herb.
Hockey.
9 and under, nobody. 10 to 19, Soleil. 20 to 29, Lexi with 2 X's. 30 to 39, Moose Man. 40 to 49, Coach T. 50 to 59, Herb. 60 to 69, Pac Mac. Featured members, me.
Points.
9 and under, Easy E. 10 to 19, Lucky Dude. 20 to 29, H. Caner 305. 30 to 39, Benny. 40 to 49, Coffee Dude. 50 to 59, Herb. 60 to 69, Pac Mac. Featured members, me. And with all that, Jessica, do you have any old fashioned left?
A tiny bit.
Do
I can't
you?
believe it lasted this entire time because it wasn't that big.
Well, that and like we pre-recorded the stuff with the kids.
That's true.
That is true. I am out. I think we've covered enough. So this has been another episode of the Red Arrow Health and Wellness Podcast. We drop episodes every Monday or almost every Monday because obviously we didn't do one last week. And by the way, sweetie,
Yeah.
by the time this posts, it will be over 1 year since we dropped our first batch of episodes.
That's so funny.
So we've been at this for over a year.
Yay, us.
Tune in next week. We will have a new episode of the Red Arrow Health and Wellness Podcast.
Hooray!
Until then, it's been fun.
Loads of fun.
Bye.
Bye.